W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by the Smallwood and Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, the Marius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Rock's Local Markets, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Bechtel Jewelers, CMA Honda of Winchester, Brown Funeral Home and Cremation Robert Fields & Sons, Orsini's Home Store, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Modern Realty Results, and the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team, so let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
Yeah, I had to reorganize. There we go. We welcome you out to Lock Haven University. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, as we have Shepherd Rams football for you on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. As I mentioned, Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us. Our cameraman is Dylan Bishop, and back in Martinsburg, keeping us on air and online, is Colin McLaughlin. The Rams coming in after a win over Shippensburg at 4-1. Lock Haven sitting at 3-2. A much improved Lock Haven team, Travis, from the past.
Absolutely. You look out and see that they didn't mess around. They wanted to get good, and they wanted to get good in a hurry. So you will see a lot of grad students, a lot of transfers coming in, and they've come out and they have made an impact. And the first name that jumps off the sheet at you is quarterback Danny Sanchez, the grad student transfer coming over from Stony Brook, coming off of a whale of a game last week versus Millersville. That was a big win for Lock Haven. They won that ball game 38-31 versus Millersville, and Danny Sanchez was a big part of it, completing 69% of his passes for 203 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also had a couple carries on the day. So Sanchez, the 6'4", 227-pound quarterback, has really been the spark that has ignited this resurgent season for the Lock Haven Bald Eagles.
And you mentioned the new quarterback for Lock Haven. As we know, a new quarterback for Shepherd as well. And Seth Morgan has had his ups, had his downs, certainly throughout this season. But really it seems like, Travis, when this team's been able to take care of the football, they are still a very high-powered offense and can score with anybody.
Absolutely, and Seth Morgan has made the most of his opportunity with the Shepherd Rams team, already completing 65% of his passes on the year, racking up over 1,000 yards, 1,321 yards to be exact, with 10 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. And like you mentioned, when he's able to stand in the pocket and really go through his progressions, he's a dangerous quarterback, and he's also good at making those off-schedule plays where he's able to get outside, break contain, and take those checkdowns and allow those athletic wide receivers and running backs to make plays after the catch. He's not somebody who's going to kill you over the deep. He's not going to bomb you over the top with a big arm. He's much more of a game manager underneath, but when he's able to play that style of game, he's a very dangerous quarterback from the pocket.
And Shepherd was able to get some of its running game going last week. Malachi Brown was able to hold on to the football. Unfortunately, it seems like Nazir Russell dealing with a knee injury, so not certain if he will be active today. But when he left the game, Jordan Barnett came in from Utah State, the transfer, and ran the ball really well. So it seems like Shepherd started to find some confidence with its rushing attack last week.
And you mentioned Nazir Russell, just such bad luck. We were talking about him during the broadcast, and as soon as we mentioned his name, able to get a couple of big catches, really sparked a big drive, and then was able to punch it in for his own touchdown carry. Then shortly after that, left the game with a knee injury. But then you mentioned going out with a knee injury, sometimes problems present opportunities. And Barnett, the bigger running back, able to come in and really establish some of the things that he was able to do. You could tell the way that the coaches were using him, that he may not be familiar with the entire playbook. So when he was in the game, it was pretty much a guarantee that he was going to get the ball. But that's good for Barnett. He knows when he gets in the game, he's going to get some touches. So, again, this Rams offense just continuing to evolve and finding their identity as this season progresses.
When we look at the Lock Haven offense outside of quarterback Danny Sanchez, it's a veteran group to go along with Sanchez as a grad student. But one thing that definitely jumps off the paper at you, Travis, is the size of the offensive line. So it will be a matchup of size versus speed. You look at it from left tackle, 6'7", 291. 6'4", 309 at left guard, 6'2", 338 at center, 6'3", 355 at right guard, and 6'6", 348 at right tackle. So they certainly have some massive human beings on that offensive line.
And that's going to be something because Shepherd has historically had an undersized defensive line, and it's going to be a question. Is that power going to win out today, or is it going to be that speed and athleticism that Rams defensive front is going to be able to bring? Last week, that Shepherd Rams defensive front, they were the difference in the game, able to post 6 sacks last week. So see if they're able to continue that success. 5. I was trying to round up, you know.
Give them another one, right?
Yeah.
All right, we will take our first 2-minute break on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. W. Harley Miller Systems providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. On the other side of this break, we will hear from the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook.
We're the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives, and when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or a loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We welcome you back on the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. We'll now get into our coach's interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford. They're located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road or online at parsonsford.com. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons. Now joined by the head coach of the Shepherd University Rams, Ernie McCook. Coach, your team able to knock off Shippensburg last week, 30-23. What did you take away from the game?
You know, I think it was a good win for us anytime we play Shippensburg, kind of a local rivalry, border war, home backyard brawl. They're a well-coached team, hungry team. They play hard. They came in here expecting to win, you know, and I thought our guys did a nice job of handling adversity when it happened, and we did the things we needed to do to win. We did make a bunch of mistakes, we came to work on Sunday and we started working at them and trying to make the corrections so we're a better football team going into week 6.
Seemed like you were able to get some things going on the ground game. Malachi had a good bounce-back week. Got Jordan Barnett involved as well, and Nazir Russell scored a touchdown. What's your thoughts on the running back room and how they progressed?
You know what? I thought they did a great job. They did good, really solid job with ball security, and then they were doing the little things right. They were making the ordinary play extraordinary that allowed us to stay on schedule and and solidify the run.
Barry Hill had a good game for you at the wide receiver position. What'd you like from him when you were getting him in the transfer portal?
Oh, you know what? He's a talented, explosive receiver. He can run a lot of really good routes. Has great hands. He's a tough guy to tackle. He's a really good player, and he brings an element to our receiving core that we needed.
Defensively, it seemed like the D-line really got after it. 5 sacks in the game. Early in the year, it seemed like pass rush was a little bit of an issue for you guys, but how have you been able to establish it over the last few weeks?
Our guys just come to work every day, and they want to be better. They work hard at every task, everything we want our players to do. I promise you our players work extremely hard at it. They want to get to the quarterback. They want to put pressure on them. They want to get sacks. They want to get hits. And I think it's a combination of the continued work that those men have.
Lock Haven this week, a team that you guys have taken care of in the past, but they look pretty. They look like they made a lot of improvements from the past.
Yeah, Coach Maroney has done a great job, and he's gone into the transfer portal. He's got several graduate transfers at key roles that are really good players. They're well coached. You can see when they line up what they're doing. Everything has a purpose. It's going to be, it's a different Lock Haven program. It's a different Lock Haven team. It's the best Lock Haven team we'll have seen yet. And I'm sure they're hungry to get after us.
What do you think will be some keys to get the win?
I think we got to take care of the football. We got to make them one-dimensional on defense, and get some 3-and-outs on defense, get some stops. We need to control the football, protect the football, and have some explosive plays.
It's supposed to rain on Saturday. What are you guys doing to prepare for the weather?
Our game plan always has an element of weather involved in it, so we can make adjustments on both offense, defense, and special teams as well. I think we'll be fine. We'll have a plan if the weather is needed to execute a different plan.
All right, guys. Thank you. Good luck this week.
Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Concludes our coach interview, brought to you by Parsons Ford, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road in Martinsburg, or online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first, Parsons. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family. And we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from 1 location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How can I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm John Everson, Private Wealth Advisor with the Marius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
We welcome you back to Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, on the campus of Lock Haven University. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, and Dylan Bishop, our cameraman, back in the studio. Colin McLaughlin. Travis, we hit on the offenses in our first segment. Let's go ahead and talk about these two teams' defenses. The Shepherd defense seems to just be getting better and better each week. You talked about the 5 sacks they were able to get last week in the win over Shippensburg. Now that pass rush is established, that takes a lot of pressure off of the secondary and the linebackers. They don't have to blitz as much. It seems like that front 4 was getting a lot of the pressure last week.
And that was one of the reasons why I gave that group the players of the game, because early on in the year you could tell that they were just looking to fill those voids, because when you lose a couple players like Kyle Smith and Malik Holloway on the edge that were able to get to the quarterback with impunity throughout the course of a game, it really allows you to do a lot more things on the back end because you're able to get pressure without having to blitz. And that's one of the things that you're going to have to do if you're going to try to choose to use that 4 down lineman look. The Rams started out the year trying that, not able to get that pressure, but then able to make some adjustments primarily in that Cal PA game. Really kind of went into the bag of tricks, opened things up, went to a 3-3 stack that game. And then after that game, you could see them incorporating elements of both styles of defenses. But the most important thing is that they're moving those defensive linemen around. They're using stunts and blitzes, just trying to create some good mismatches and using that speed and athleticism up front to get pressure. And again, you're able to get that pressure without having to blitz, and that really helps out the coverage on the back end. And that, again, is going to help that pressure up front because it's going to give them time to get home and take the quarterback down.
On the Lock Haven side, a 3-4 look for them, a team that, like we mentioned, has pretty much went through a whole overhaul from last year to this year. A lot of transfers in on both sides of the ball and a lot of experience on this Lock Haven defense, Travis.
And looking at that experience, you have linebacker Cody Romano, the grad transfer coming over from Penn State, the linebacker, 6'3", 224 pounds. They only played in a couple of games last year for the Nittany Lions, had 1 solo tackle, but last week had a big game versus Millersville where he had 4 tackles, 2 of those solo, also had a sack, a fumble recovery, and 2 pass breakups. So he's a player that has tremendous range that can make plays from sideline to sideline. You also have Kasir Henry, the 6'1", 203-pound junior cornerback who had a big game last week, also versus Millersville. 6 tackles, 4 of those solos. So they have players that can make plays for them at all 3 levels. They have size up front on the D-line. They have athletic linebackers, and they have some good speed in that secondary as well. And like you mentioned, bringing in those experienced players, this is their last hurrah. So they want to go out there and really let it all hang out. And Lock Haven, I tell you what, you have to take your hat off to them because for a long time, the Bald Eagles, they were struggling. They were having difficult times getting wins. You go back to last season, they went 1-10. So they have a new coaching staff coming in. They're really trying to get things revamped, and no better way than to do that than to bring in some veterans that's going to create a winning culture that is in turn is going to help you go out and recruit young players and build your program from within. So Lock Haven is really just being resourceful in how they're building their program moving forward.
Let's go ahead and take another 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we will go in the huddle with Shepherd Rams running back Malachi Brown, as well as Shepherd Rams defensive tackle Matt Bednarski. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency, BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We now go in the huddle, brought to you by the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue or give them a call at 304-263-4343. We now go in the huddle with Shepherd Rams running back Malachi Brown. Malachi, after a tough game against Kutztown, you were able to bounce back last week. Just kind of talk about some things that you tried to work on in between those 2 games.
Definitely the ball security. We had 3 balls on the ground during the Kutztown game, so definitely emphasizing just being a better back, more reliable, doing the things I really have to do. But mostly ball security, yes, sir.
You made the transition from wide receiver to running back this offseason. Just talk about that transition and I guess any prior experience playing running back?
Yeah, through my years in high school, Hedgesville, sometimes in Martinsburg, I got handed the ball off in the backfield. Something I was kind of accustomed to growing up. That was my first position, was running back, and then I came here, was a receiver, and then they moved me back. So it really wasn't too adjustable, but it was something I could get into easy. I was being an athlete, so just doing what I had to do, honestly.
You're coming off of a knee injury as well. Just kind of talk about the recovery. Ankle, sorry.
Yes, sir. Ankle injury. Yeah, it was a tough time last year. It was a week before season, actually, last year. I fractured my distal fibula. Coming back to it, it actually helped me, take further on to my football career, help me work harder. Just a setback in general just made me mentally stronger.
What were some things that you think you did well against Shippensburg?
Definitely ball security. We got a hold of that real quick. Just hitting the holes. Coach McCook's just telling me, to be a back, you really just got to put your foot in the ground and go up the field. And I think I did well on that, taking half a man and just really getting the yards I needed to get at running back.
And as a running back group, you saw Nazir Russell get a touchdown. Barnett ran the ball well, too. So how do you feel like the room is doing for you?
The running back's doing great. I love all the boys. Nas actually just got hurt this past week in Shepherdsburg game. He messed up his knee, but all the boys are great. They're great backs. As you see, the Barnett, he's a great solid down, third down back. He gets the yards. He's a big back. He can run through people. Nazir is a great athlete again. I feel like our room together it's a lot of diverse backs, so it's a lot of room to put us out there.
And then being a local guy, you mentioned it, you went to Hedgesville and Martinsburg. Just what's it like playing for Shepherd at your local college?
I grew up coming to Shepherd games, so this is definitely, when I narrowed down my offers, this was definitely the #1. If I were to stay local, this was the #1 school I was going to, just staying around, knowing the people that play here, like Tyson and all them guys from back home. It made it easy to make it more comfortable, and just the love for the school as it is.
Last one, Malachi. What are you looking forward to about Lock Haven? What have you seen from their defense?
I feel like they got a bunch of transfer guys. I've heard from D1. I feel like if we could just come out and execute how we did during Shippensburg, our run game, I feel like it'll be the same for Lock Haven. We just got to come out strong, do our job, and then be efficient.
All right, thank you. Good luck this week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We now go in the huddle with Shepherd defensive lineman Matt Bednarski. Matt, pass rush was key to the win last week. What were you guys trying to do against Shippensburg to get after the quarterback?
Really just game planning all week long. We kind of knew some of their tendencies, saw what they did on tape, saw down and distance, and really knew when we could pin our ears back. So we kind of took that into account, different keys. And then we were really just hungry to get after. Letting Kutztown quarterback escape so many times, we were really just hungry to really get after the quarterback last week.
How do you think the D-line has grown since early in the season? Had some issues getting after the quarterback, but now the last few weeks been able to do a better job.
It's definitely been an emphasis in practice, working different drills, working together after practice, before practice, trying to really tighten up our game, working on pass lane integrity, stuff like that, really getting to the quarterback. It's just been practice and really gelling as a group. It's kind of been the whole game plan.
For you as an interior guy, you've been a starter or rotational guy the last 3 seasons. What have you tried to do for your game to get better over this season?
I mean, really just take every day as seriously as possible. So every rep I take in practice, every time we're in film, just take it as serious as I possibly can and just treat it like a game every day.
With you being a guy from Martinsburg, obviously Shepherd and Martinsburg have a good relationship. There's a lot of Martinsburg guys on the team. Just what's that like playing at your home college?
It's awesome. I mean, the amount of fans that have known me playing at Martinsburg and then come here for tailgates or I see them around town, it's really just an amazing feeling. I mean, former coaches that I've had, they make their way to the games, and just the fan base is just great, especially being a local kid. I love it. So.
Lock Haven this week, what have you seen out of them so far?
Lock Haven, they're definitely a better team than the previous years that we played them, so we definitely can't underestimate anybody, let alone Lock Haven. They got some good running backs. They got good size on the offensive line. They're older offensive line, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's another game, it's another week. We got to take it as serious as any other game.
All right, Matt, thank you. Good luck this week.
No problem. Thank you.
Concludes our player interviews portion of the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. When we return, we will have more. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family. And we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from 1 location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to SkinnerWins.com. We'll treat you like family.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, as we get you set for Lock Haven and Shepherd. Nick Verzolino alongside me, Travis Smith. Travis, let's get into our keys to the game, brought to you by the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing.
Well, looking at Lock Haven, I think the first key of the game is going to be control the football. They have a big physical running back in Chris Collier. They want to keep him on the field as much as they can, coming off of a 30-carry game last week where he had 3 touchdowns. Controlling that football keeps that Shepherd offense on the sideline, and most importantly is going to wear down that defensive line that Shepherd brings to the game. And we already talked about Lock Haven's size up front, so that's only going to play to their advantage. Also, Lock Haven, they're going to have to limit the penalties. Last week had 12 penalties, over 100 penalty yards, so they're not going to be able to do that. And they don't want to extend drives for Shepherd's offense, and they don't want to give themselves and get themselves in a hole on offense by racking up those penalties. So they're going to have to play a clean game. Also, the Bald Eagles, they're really going to have to be sharp on special teams. The Rams have been red hot this year as far as special teams plays. They had a block punt last week. They've had kick returns or punt returns every week so far this season, just about. So they're really going to have to pay attention and stay dialed in on special teams. And most importantly for this Lock Haven ball club, they're really going to have to pressure the quarterback today and tackle well in space. Those Shepherd wide receivers very dangerous with the run after the catch, so that's something that those defensive backs and linebackers are really going to have to be key on today, is tackling well in space. Looking over to that Shepherd Rams sideline, they're going to have to use stunts and blitzes up front on defense. They're going to have to try to beat that size with speed and athleticism. They got the guys to do it, but they're really going to have to lean on that today. They don't want to get worn down and have a late fourth quarter surge from those big guys up front. Like I said, on the other side, Shepherd's going to need some big plays on special teams. Their special teams unit has been red hot so far this year. They want to continue that play. That's something that has really just developed into a weapon this year for the Shepherd Rams football team, and they want to keep that good play going. Also on offense, the Rams, they're going to have to work the middle of the field in the passing game. Don't rely on the deep stuff to the sidelines, although the Rams offense has had success with those 50-50 balls and comebacks and throws of that nature. I think if they're able to work inside the hash marks, that's really going to play to the strengths of Seth Morgan. Like we mentioned, doesn't have the big arm, doesn't like throwing to the sidelines that much. So if you give him some options over the middle, the ball's going to come out of his hands quicker, going to give him some confidence, some nice easy throws in space, and that's only going to help the offense move the chains. And most importantly for this Rams team, they're going to have to get off to a fast start. We mentioned Lock Haven. This is a resurgent football team. They got some confidence going, but they still may have some doubts in their head from all those years of losing here at this program. So Shepherd's able to get out to a fast start. Maybe you start putting those doubts back in their mind. So it's going to be important for Shepherd not to let this home crowd get involved, and they want to try to shake that confidence early of this resurgent Lock Haven football team.
It's a beautiful view here at Lock Haven, as have the stadium kind of sitting down in the valley, and of course the campus down in the valley as well, and then the water and the mountains. So it's definitely a interesting view. But Shepherd won the toss. They elect to defer to the second half, so the Rams will kick it away. James Bozick to kick off for Shepherd. Our opening kickoff brought to you by CMA Honda of Winchester, located at 3985 Valley Pike. CMA, moving lives forward.
You nailed it. It is picturesque up here. This is something you could see Bob Ross putting down on canvas up here. Very nice. You can't ask for better weather. The sun's finally come out. It was rainy and cold early on, but right now it's absolutely perfect for some high-level football today.
Chandler Baker and Marquise Perry back deep for the Bald Eagles as we get ready for kickoff. Bozick has it on the tee and will kick it away. And Lock Haven will fair catch inside its own 10-yard line. And the Bald Eagles will take over at the 25. Fair caught on that one by Chandler Baker. So we'll get to see Danny Sanchez and this new look Lock Haven offense. This is actually the first time that both you and I will be here for a Lock Haven game, Travis, as the previous two seasons, Shepherd's Lock Haven game has fell on the same day as a Martinsburg Saturday game, so unfortunately we couldn't do both games. We'll have a similar thing in a few weeks, but we will have both games because the Shepherd game is at 2 p.m. and the Martinsburg-Hedgesville game is at 11 a.m. So we will kind of switch over and join Shepherd in progress. But
wall-to-wall football sounds good to me.
Yeah, Sanchez in the shotgun. He takes the snap, throws over the middle, complete. Underneath, making the reception there is Tyre Young, the 6'3", 223-pound sophomore.
And coming into today's game, Young has had one heck of a season, 14 catches, 295 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And we mentioned his size, 6'3", 223 pounds. Certainly a player you're going to have to keep an eye on, going to be a threat for run after the catch.
We'll run the ball here on first down and 10 and get across the 40. On the carry there for Lock Haven, Chris Collier.
And Collier coming off of a big game last week. 30 carries, 88 yards. Not an impressive yards per carry, but if you're able to carry the ball that many times, and he also had 3 touchdowns, it's going to keep your offense on schedule, and it's going to wear that defense down. So although the yards per carry might not be impressive, the 30 carries really carries a lot of weight because that's just really going to help your offense stay on schedule.
Second and about 6. Pass underneath, complete, and shedding off a tackler. On that one was Chris Hicks. 6'3", 218-pound wide receiver, and he takes it into Shepherd territory for a first down for Lock Haven, moving the ball to the Shepherd 38-yard line.
Lock Haven looking to go tempo, going no huddle, not allowing that Shepherd defense to sub guys in and out. They really want to try to wear them down early and have that size advantage play a big part later in the game.
Lock Haven with all sorts of motion. It's a screen pass underneath to Collier. He has blockers in front. Collier, a nice move down inside the 20-yard line. First down again for the Bald Eagles. Down to the 19.
And the offensive lineman did an excellent job getting out in front. That time leading the charge was Joe Turek, the 6'4", 309-pound senior, just delivering good blocks in space, and that's something you want to see these big linemen do. If they're able to get out there and show that they can move and make plays at that second level, that's really the mark of a lineman's skill when they're able to get out and make plays in space like that.
So 1st and 10 for the Bald Eagles from the 19. Sanchez. All day, rolling out. Throws complete underneath, setting off a tackler from Comagao. Goes De'Aaron Lawrence, but we do have a flag on the play.
Looks like that flag was down in the secondary. So curious to see who's going to be the one at fault on this. Sanchez had a lot of time in the pocket on that play. Kind of surprised he didn't pull it down and run it, but he is much more comfortable making his plays from the pocket.
So no foul on the play. It'll be 2nd down for the Bald Eagles as they run on some more size onto the field.
And the referees this year, usually the PSAC officials, they let them play football in the secondary as far as like pass interference. But this year they have been a little bit more quick to throw a flag when there's some type of contact down the field. So fortunately for both ball clubs, no penalty on the play.
2nd down and 5. They'll go Collier. He takes it down about the 12-yard line. Bring up a 3rd and 3 for Lock Haven.
And Collier coming into today's game, having a good season. 97 carries for 481 yards, averaging 4.9 yards a carry, 7 touchdowns. We've already seen him catch a pass out of the backfield today. And coming into today's game, 7 catches for 96 yards and 2 touchdowns. So just a complete running back, hard in between the tackles, but good hands out of the backfield too. So just a threat in all aspects of his game, a complete running back.
4 receivers set here on 3rd down and 3. Over the middle, complete. That is caught by Perry for a 1st down. Down to the 6-yard line goes Lock Haven. It's another 1st down for the Bald Eagles.
And Chandler Baker, also a threat as a kick returner, the grad student, coming in from Buffalo. 5'10", 179 pounds. Has 2 touchdowns on the season for the Bald Eagles.
So 1st and goal for the Bald Eagles from the 7-yard line. They'll flip it ahead.
Oh,
and
good tackle.
Good tackle in space from Dante Harrison. Lawrence is stopped short. They'll bring up 2nd and goal.
That was a touchdown-saving tackle that time by Harrison. This Rams secondary, that they've been torched in some of these games. However, they've been able to make plays when they've absolutely needed them. And that time, Harrison again answering the call because he was the only one out there on the edge, and he did a good job of keeping contained, and not only keeping contained, able to make a good tackle in space. So very tough to stop that jet sweep, particularly down on the goal line where everybody's packed down inside.
Sanchez looking to throw on 2nd and goal. Throws over the middle, complete to Lawrence again, and he is tackled again. Short, maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Looked like Emilio Pena coming up and making that tackle for the Rams. We'll bring up a 3rd and goal now for Lock Haven. Good opening drive, under 9:50 to go in this 1st quarter. And the Bald Eagles have moved the ball down to the Shepherd 6-yard line, but haven't been able to go too far from there.
Lock Haven not being shy, just changing out personnel, formations, shifts, a variety of looks here on this opening drive, and they've run out of space, so things are getting a little bit tighter here down towards the goal line.
Baker, Perry, and Lawrence are the wide receivers. Corner end zone for Perry. It's caught. Touchdown, Lock Haven.
And that's as pretty as they get. Those outside wide receivers ran hitches. That's going to pull those corners down. It's going to create some space in the back of the end. And like you mentioned, Perry, inside in that slot area, able to run that corner to that back pylon. You tell your quarterback you're throwing it to that back pylon. You tell your wide receiver to run to that back pylon. And just a good on-target throw that time by Sanchez, able to get on the board first and look like that Lock Haven offense is going to stay on the field. Looking to get that 2-point conversion. Oh, no, penalty on the play.
Yeah, flag on the play. Looked to be a hold against Lock Haven, so that will take the touchdown off the board and also back up Lock Haven to the 16-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 16.
Good play. That's a gut punch, taking points off the board.
See if they can respond here. Sanchez again looking to throw for the corner of the end zone and incomplete. In coverage for the Rams. Looked to be Cameron McDowell, or Christian McDowell, excuse me. The intended receiver on that one was number 17, Young. So that'll bring up a long field goal attempt of about 32 yards. And the kick is up, and it is good. So Lock Haven still gets on the board first, but a touchdown coming off the board on the penalty. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family. And we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from 1 location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back to Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith, as the wind all of a sudden picking up here in Lock Haven. But the Bald Eagles able to nail a 32-yard field goal to get on the board first on a good opening drive of 75 yards. Our scoring drive summaries are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective, fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. So Shepherd will get the ball here on its first drive. And Travis, a lot of good things out of that Lock Haven offense. Unfortunately for them, they had the touchdown taken off the board. And now they will kick it away to the Rams.
Like we mentioned last week, they had a lot of penalties in that ball game, over 100 penalty yards, and already early on, penalties being costly, costing them that touchdown on a beautifully scripted opening drive. They used a variety of personnel packages, formations, motions, and shifts, and really had that Rams defense on their heels. But again, that Rams defense has been bend but don't break all year long.
Lock Haven smartly kicks it short. Fisher fields it at the 25 and takes a knee. That's where Shepherd will take over, but we've seen the effectiveness of the Rams special teams unit, so Lock Haven just saying, hey, we're not going to mess around, and we're just going to, if we can't kick it out of the end zone, I think the next best thing to do for them would be to kick it short, high, and make Shepherd fair catch it.
And what that shows is that they have confidence in their matchups as far as the offense versus defense. It's like the only thing that we really can't get our thumb on is their explosive ability on the special team side of things. So that time you just take away that opportunity. I'm surprised they went with the sky ball. They had a heavy gust of wind at their back, so didn't want to go for the touchback. Again, just selected for the sky ball and making them put it down at the spot.
Morgan throws to the far sideline, leaping up and able to make the catch on that far sideline is Jeremiah Taylor for a Shepherd first down.
And Morgan on that right hash, throwing it all the way over to the left sideline. Like we mentioned, this Rams offense now working into the wind. So that may not be a play that you want to go back to too often, but it's always nice to show that underneath stuff early on to make those corners tighten up. That'll possibly set up that double move that the Rams have had success with throughout this year.
Gain of 10 on the play. Here's a throw back to the near side, complete to Taylor. Brought down at the 40-yard line.
And that's what it seems like this Rams offense is looking to do. They want to take advantage of that soft coverage early on, making that defense make a decision. Are you going to let us eat underneath, or are you going to make that adjustment and open up things on the back end? And so far the Bald Eagles seem to be content to stay back in coverage, rally, and tackle, and try to limit that run after catch opportunity.
Just over 8 minutes to play in this first quarter. 3-0. Bald Eagles on top. Another pass complete underneath, a screen pass. Caught on that far side. It's Jeremiah Taylor once again. He's tackled short of the first down marker, and the Rams will come up now 3rd down at about 2 from their own 42-yard line.
Taylor coming off of a solid performance last week. He had 5 catches for 40 yards versus Shippensburg.
Excuse me, from the 43.
This trio of wide receivers has really proven to be a dynamic bunch for this Rams offense. When you have Dorner, Hill, and Taylor, very tough to stop.
Lockhaven brings a blitz. They dump it down in the flat to Malachi Brown. He has the first down before being pushed out of bounds on the play by Kaiser Henry. First down and 10, Shepherd now from the 45. So gets 2 on 3rd and 2 and brings up a new set of downs for the Rams. First down and 10 from the 45-yard line.
And Henry, a big physical corner, 6'1", 203-pound junior, coming into today's game, had 21 tackles, 16 of those solo, with also 1 pass breakup as Malachi Brown takes it up the middle. The Lockhaven defense, Johnny on the spot, is going to be a minimal gain, bringing up possibly a 2nd and 10 for this Rams offense.
It didn't look like much room at all on that run. The first run of the day for the Rams goes nowhere. It will be 2nd down and 10 for the Shepherd offense. 6:30 to go in this first quarter. 3-0. Bald Eagles on top after a long scoring drive of 75 yards. Or I should say down to the 30, so 60 yards. But anyway, pass complete here to Barry Hill. Short of the sticks, will bring up 3rd down now.
And a quick RPO type action, more of a play action pass where they fake that zone run to Malachi Brown. Morgan pulls it and throws it to Hill in the slot. And he's really beginning to become more and more comfortable in this offense. He started out at the beginning of the year, had a really big gain after that. He really just kind of faded away as the other wide receivers began to emerge. But now he's starting to find his footing again and getting back involved in this offense.
3rd down and 3. They run Malachi Brown again, and he is tackled right at the first down marker. Wyatt Pelicano trying to push him forward. Brought down on the play by by Romano on that one. 1st down and 10 now for the Rams.
And a big block that time coming from Brian Jester, the tight end, coming in getting more and more playing time. 6'3", 245-pound sophomore. Much more of the style of tight end that we're used to seeing from this Rams team over the years. They usually have big guys playing that position that are very tough to stop down the seam.
Pass underneath, complete to from Morgan to Malachi Brown. Brown down to the 40-yard line. So Shepherd methodically moving the football down the field. Knocked out of bounds on the play by Davin Venon. Or excuse me, looked like number 25, Ramal Hoster on that tackle. 2nd down here for Shepherd. And they'll run Malachi Brown trying to follow Dustin Fisher, and he is brought down short of the sticks, down to about the 37-yard line. Will be another 3rd down for Shepherd.
3rd and short, and that's one of the things that the running game can afford you, is going to set you up in favorable 3rd down situations where you really have access to the whole playbook. You're not forced to take a deep shot down the field. You still have that option to run if you want to. Again, that's a little bit more risky, and you also have a chance to throw a high percentage pass. You really don't have to try to bomb it down the field.
Morgan looks to throw again, completes over the middle to Barry Hill for the 1st down, Shepherd. So the Rams pick it up again and This is a good first drive from both teams now. Under 4 minutes to go in this first quarter. Both teams have only had one possession. It's 3-0 Lock Haven.
And it's to the Ram offense's benefit to work the middle of the field. Most teams are coming out in a too high safety look, really just playing that shell, just trying to keep everything in front of them. So just going to leave some open spaces over the middle, take advantage of it, make that defense make an adjustment, or pick up easy yards.
Barnett the back, and Morgan looks to throw, dumps it down complete to Cam Dorner. Dorner makes a move at the 25, brought down by Romano. It'll be about a yard short of the first down marker.
Romano coming into today's game, one of the leading tacklers for this Bald Eagles defense, having 30 tackles, 21 of those solos, 7 tackles for a loss, 2 sacks, an interception, 3 pass breakups, and 2 fumble recoveries. Like we said, he is a playmaker in a variety of ways on the defensive side of the ball.
Here's Barnett, nice cutback. Runs a man over and gets inside the 10-yard line. Running over number 13, Jair Thomas, and then brought down on the play inside the 10 by David Vernon.
It's going to be an early nominee for me for a collision of the game. Barnett using the truck stick.
Well, we knew of his size that he could be in a tackles, and he remains in the backfield here on first down and goal for the Rams from the 10. They'll feed the big man, and Barnett lowers another shoulder. This time, though, he is met at the 6-yard line. Making the tackle there again was Vernon, as well as Darrell Pollard, who will be second and goal for the Rams. 2 minutes to go in this first quarter. Down to the 7-yard line. Malachi Brown is the back in the pistol formation. Taylor and Dorner the receivers to the near side. Morgan tucks it like he's going to run and then just slides down. Will be a loss on the play.
It looks like there was some type of miscommunication
on that tackle.
Looks like there was some type of miscommunication on that play because he pulled it and really didn't look like anybody was trying to get open for him on that play. So may have been a play where they were expecting him to hand it off.
So it'll be third and goal for Shepherd.
Both defenses are tightening up once the ball gets inside the 10. Both of these defenses have proven to be pretty stout in these tight spaces. That really puts pressure on the offense because the time speeds up, the windows get a little tighter. See who can make plays.
Fake the end around. They had that. Throw back to Dorner on the far side, and it falls incomplete.
And Taylor was wide open working that back line. Morgan was just hesitant to pull the trigger on the play, but Taylor was open. That was the play that they were setting up, trying to get him a good look in the back of the end zone. It was there, but Morgan not wanting to make a mistake early on. Makes the safe throw, the incompletion, and sets up a field goal for the Rams to try to tie this ball game. Excuse me.
James Bozick now from about 25 yards out, and the kick is up, and it is good. So Shepherd ties the game at 3 with 1 minute to go in the first quarter. We'll take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
Shepherd ties the game at 3, responding with the 25-yard field goal from the opening drive for Lock Haven. So both teams have taken 14 minutes off the clock to begin this first quarter. Just a minute to go. 3-3 our score. And the 25-yard James Bozick field goal ties the game at 3. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Travis, it looked like Shepherd maybe had 2 things open. You mentioned the Taylor play. I think it would have been a sprint to the end zone between Dorner and the safety for Lock Haven, but I think they would have had a good opportunity with Cam Dorner's speed on the kickoff. Lock Haven will field it with Baker from inside the own 10-yard line, and a flag comes flying in, so most likely against the Bald Eagles. Our first quarter is presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution. At 121 Administrative Drive, call 304-263-3361, as well as the Skinner Law Firm. Holding call there against Lock Haven, but the Skinner Law Firm accident and injury lawyers representing accident and injury claims for over 50 years. Go to SkinnerWins.com. So Travis will get to see this Lock Haven unit once again, and it was an impressive first drive.
So, and you look at both ball clubs able to march the field. Then once they got inside the 10-yard line, it was some tough sledding to try to get it in the end zone. Both teams elected to go for the field goal. They wanted to get points on the board, come away with something positive. Now we get a chance to see who's made the better adjustments here on the second drive for this Rams defense and Lock Haven offense.
And delayed handoff there as they
Collier still running.
Able to get it across the 17-yard line. It almost looked like Shepherd was offsides just because of how long that draw play took to develop, but it ends up working out pretty well for the Bald Eagles. They get 9 on the play. It's now 2nd down and 1.
And Sanchez, that was quite a poker face that time because he just stood back there in the pocket and just let the play develop, didn't try to rush it. And that patience paid off as Collier was able to break some tackles and pick up a big chunk on first down.
18 seconds to go in this first quarter. We'll see if Lock Haven elects to run another play. They do. They hand it off to Collier, and this time he doesn't find too much room, but is patient enough to get the ball to the first down marker and move the chains before the end of this first quarter. Our score after 1, Lock Haven 3, Shepherd 3. We'll take a 60-second break. When we return, we'll have more Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
We welcome you back to Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Our score, Shepherd 3, Lock Haven 3. It's 1st down and 10 for the Bald Eagles from their own 22-yard line. Sanchez in the shotgun. He takes the snap, throws near side, complete to Lawrence. Dante Harrison knocks him out of bounds. Short completion on that one, about 6 yards on the play. Will bring up 2nd down.
Again, we haven't seen much pressure up front from that Rams defensive line. Just now just trying to figure out a way to get past that big wall of humanity that Lock Haven has up front. Just looking at the right side between Edward Leak, the right guard, 6'3", 355 pounds. Right tackle Matt Frederick, 6'6", 348 pounds. They get their hands on you, it's a wrap. You're going to have to wait until the whistle.
Pass underneath again, complete to Lawrence. Harrison went for the football instead of making the tackle. Still does make the tackle, but it's a 1st down for the Bald Eagles up to the 44-yard line.
Hustle play that time by Harrison, like you mentioned, making that play for the ball, gambled, missed, but didn't give up on the play, didn't feel sorry for himself, and then was able to retreat and make the tackle down the field. And a lot of times that's where fumbles happen, is when that first guy misses the tackle, but it doesn't give up on the play, hustles after and tries to make another play on the ball. So Harrison, again, is not feeling sorry for himself, stays in the game and able to battle. And that was a play that was something that really turned the tide of that Cal PA game, was his hustle and his tenacity.
Pass nearly intercepted.
He saw it.
By Dante Harrison. He lets him know as well.
This much. Just this much. And it was a wind gust right when the ball was thrown.
That threw him off.
That threw him off a little bit because he just misjudged it a little bit, but he saw it the whole way.
And as we know, if Dante Harrison does get the ball in his hands, he is a threat to do something with it. Last season had 2 pick sixes and a fumble return for a touchdown, so certainly has been a big play type of guy. 3-3 our score. Second quarter, Sanchez looking to throw. Throws underneath, complete to his big tight end, and he's driven out of bounds right around midfield. Making the catch there is Chris Hicks, the 6'3", 218-pounder, and slow to get up is a Shepherd Ram.
And I'm not sure what the penalty would be because Hicks stood up and walked away immediately, so it wouldn't be something where he's standing over a guy taunting, so maybe something where it's like a sideline warning perhaps.
Can't quite tell who is down for Shepherd on the near sideline. Lock Haven training staff attending to the player who went low and hasn't gotten up yet. Well, they are ruling it taunting, so maybe he said something. But in terms of standing over top or anything like that, no, none of that, but there's some sort of comment or something made.
They're going to have a better opportunity to hear that down on the field, but it didn't look like he was standing over him or taunting him, but like you said, probably said something that caught the referee's attention. And again, another big penalty for this Lock Haven team, and this is something that they can't afford to do. They have shown early on is that they got the juice this year to try to hang with this Shepherd Ball Club and make it a ball game, but what they're not going to be able to do is bury themselves on the offensive side with penalties or try to extend drives on defense by getting these type of penalties, so they're going to have to try to clean it up.
It appears to be Dante Harrison, the player down on the field for Shepherd. 13:32 to go in the second quarter. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
We welcome you back here to Lock Haven. We may extend this break as Coach McCook has came over from the Shepherd sideline, certainly concerned about Dante Harrison right now on both sides as he came up, made that hit, and never got up from that, Travis. And anytime you have that kind of play, it certainly leads to concern.
Absolutely, and it was something where he was the low man in the tackle. It was 2 Rams defenders that were able to take Hicks down out of bounds. Amari Terry tackled him up higher, whereas Harrison, using good tackling technique, went down low, and quite possibly you always run the risk of catching a knee or something like that to the helmet, and all those helmets offer quite a bit of protection. A knee to the helmet is a knee to the helmet, and sometimes that can lead to injury, and right now you see an abundance of caution from both training staffs trying to help Harrison out right now. But right now both teams have gone to their sidelines to give the trainers all the time and space that they need to help Harrison out as much as they can.
And from a football perspective here, Shepherd losing Dante Harrison would be very tough because they already lost Clayton Batten before the season to a knee injury, so they're kind of shorthanded at corner already, and Harrison has been a bright player for them since starting as a freshman last year. We just talked about his ability to make plays. So
not only does he make plays in the secondary, but he's also able to make plays in the run game with his size. So, and it looks like now that they're trying to secure his head, so it may be something where they have an ambulance on site.
And I did see one of the trainers run out of the stadium, so it does look like they are going to get a stretcher and get him off of the field. So our prayers go out to Dante Harrison. Hopefully everything turns out to be okay with that young man. But let's go ahead and take a minute break. And when we return, we'll have more Shepherd Rams football and potentially an update on Dante's status. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Let's take a 1-minute break.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
As we welcome you back to Lock Haven, they're now getting the stretcher out. Again, Dante Harrison going down on the Lock Haven sideline.
They're starting to clear people out on the sideline, so I believe they're probably going to bring the ambulance on the field.
I'm not sure because they did lower the stretcher out, but yeah, they probably, I guess, don't want to wheel the stretcher all the way out of the stadium. So that appears to be the case. Again, Harrison, though, making a hit on Hicks, the tight end of Lock Haven, and Dante hasn't gotten up, but not certain on his status. Kind of hard to tell exactly, so I don't want to speculate on anything in terms of his communication and everything like that, but it's hard to tell from up here when we have a lot of people blocking our view. But they are bringing a stretcher out onto the field, and certainly hope the best for Dante Harrison. But Travis, in terms of this game so far, 3-3 our score, 13:32 to go. And Lock Haven also got a taunting penalty on that play, so that will back them up here for 3rd and long.
And again, it just looked like it was a quick exchange, possibly something said, but when you have a player that's down injured, I think that's just going to bring that much more attention to the play. So the fact that you said something after play like that and a player's still down there on the field, I think the referees probably feel compelled to penalize you on that, because certainly you don't want to condone that type of behavior, and
right.
You don't want things to get out of hand.
And I'm sure whenever Hicks did say something, he didn't realize the significance of Harrison going down or if he was even injured at all. But
and you do see, I did see Harrison moving his arms.
Okay, that's good.
So, an abundance of caution, any type of head or neck injury. Those trainers, they're not going to mess around. They're going to go through their protocol and make sure he's safe.
Yeah, I mean, that's ultimately the most important thing. This is a very violent sport, and you do have situations like this where, you know, you never want to see it happen, but it does happen. It's part of the game. But that's good to see that he's at least moving and I would presume communicating then with the training staff. So they're making Harrison, or they're moving him onto the stretcher now, it appears, and certainly taking their time. Like you said, don't want to rush these kind of things because you don't know exactly what the injury is, so you never want to potentially make it worse. As the Shepherd team kind of makes its way toward that far end zone where they will wheel him out, probably just so they can all say something to him and make sure that he's okay on their end, I'm guessing. But
Curious to see how both teams are going to respond coming out of this extended break. It's always a weird feeling when somebody has an injury like that, how players are going to respond, because you go out there on that field with just the mentality of you're never going to get hurt.
Yeah. And I think anytime you see somebody go off on the stretcher, it kind of reminds you of the dangers of the sport and can make you feel kind of cautious about things, I feel like. And then also just for Lock Haven, too, I mean, they have the football. It's been a long delay, so for both teams, I guess, I mean, how do you, continue to stay fresh and keep your mind right, because you do still have a football game to play. But in the back of your mind, if you're Shepherd, you're certainly going to be worried about your teammate. And I'm sure even Lock Haven, even though they don't know Dante or anything like that, they don't want to see somebody leave on a stretcher. So it's a tough situation. Certainly, again, we hope the best for Dante and hopefully nothing too significant here. But let's go ahead and take another minute break. And then when we return, we hopefully we'll be back to action, and also hopefully they're able to get Dante to the ambulance and everything is good there. So let's take a 60-second break. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Hello?
We're here again 3 times in the past 2 days.
You're where?
Bechtel Jewelers. Look.
Can Mom hear you?
No, she's in a diamond coma. Get her the pendant, or I will.
Hey, that's my credit card.
What? Can't hear you, Dad. You're breaking up.
It's going to take more than a crying baby to wake her out of this diamond coma. You're going to need a mega dose of jewelry from Bechtel Jewelers.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my parents. Dad, come over. The brisket's done.
The Traeger Connected Experience. Everything you need for epic flavor, and then some.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
We welcome you back to Lock Haven again. Dante Harrison, the player, down on the sidelines for the Shepherd Rams. They've moved him on top of the stretcher, now just kind of doing the final steps that they need to do before moving him to the ambulance, as he had a collision on the sideline with Hicks, the tight end for Lock Haven. Harrison went low, looked to have made a good form, but we did hear kind of a loud collision, so there was, probably made contact with a knee or something like that to the head or neck area, which is always a concern. And Harrison down on the field currently. Again, Shepherd cornerback Dante Harrison down, and the training staff working on getting him out of the stadium at this point. But 3-3 is our score, 13:32 to go in the second quarter. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith, happy to have you with us. Dylan Bishop, our cameraman, back in the studio. Kyle McLaughlin, the Shepherd team, waiting in the far end zone for their teammate Dante Harrison to be carted off the field. Lock Haven players on the near sideline also concerned here. And as we mentioned earlier, obviously this affects a lot of different things. With the delay in the game now, players will have to try to keep their minds straight on continuing the game after this, but also just the fact that you have a severe injury, and how does that affect you mentally is always something to be in the back of your mind.
This has been an extended break, so I wonder if
they extended even more potentially and have players stretch and stuff like that.
Some type of warm-up to get them back into the groove of things a little bit. Again, all that's secondary to Harrison's health.
Right, yeah. I think that's got to be your number one concern right now. But, it's always tough because it is you do still have the game to be played, and this has been extended, I think, more than usual. So now your concern is rising, I think. I mean, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but it did seem like initially, when they do get the stretcher out, it's not as long. So I just wonder what is the delay here. But as far as I know, there hasn't been any raising concern in terms of Dante's health. So it may just be things they have to go over. I don't know exactly.
Well, it looked like they got out a neck brace and looked like they were also removing his face mask.
Okay, that could be. What's the delay then? Yeah, that makes sense. They can't really have you take your helmet off, but they can remove your helmet in some ways. So that's probably the delay then. So let's go ahead and take like a 5-minute break, and then hopefully things have cleared up from that. So 5-minute break. Again, our score here in the second quarter, 3-3, 13:32 to go in the second quarter. Shepherd, Lock Haven doing battle here at Lock Haven. Dante Harrison being carted off. The delay appears to be just the removal of the face mask. So hopefully, again, our thoughts are with him right now. And we will take a 5-minute break. This is Shepherd Rams Football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Before the invitations and the dress, the flowers, cake, candles, or vows, there was an answer to a question proposed with a ring.
Bechtel Jewelers knows that an important part of your wedding happens before the I-dos. We're a diamond store with an engagement and bridal jewelry selection that's both exciting and accessible.
On the big day, there's everything else, and there's the ring. Make sure you get this one right at Bechtel Jewelers in Inwood.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
The Skinner family has been representing West Virginians for more than 50 years.
We've changed the name of our firm to Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers because we want to be clear about what we do. We represent people who have been in car, truck, and other catastrophic accidents.
We're here to be a voice for the injured and vulnerable, and we take that job seriously with deep commitment to serving our clients wherever they are.
Just Google Skinner Accident Lawyer or visit skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency, BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, shrimp nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Remember when you were a little kid and saw your first deer?
Oh, how cute.
As an adult, maybe you've had a different experience.
Where'd that come from?
Bambi mess up your dream machine? Call Cody's Auto Body today at 304-901-4777 and get the work done right the first time. Cody's Auto Body, 851 Wilston Street in Martinsburg, has a team of auto body professionals with a lifetime of experience putting your ride back together again, regardless of how it got that way. Cody's Auto Body.
We welcome you back here to, sorry about that. We welcome you back to Lock Haven University. Dante Harrison has been carted off the field, so again, our thoughts are with him at this moment, but got a Nice cheer here from the Lock Haven and Shepherd crowd. But we're tied at 3. I think they're going to take I heard about 3 minutes to get everybody loose again and just continue this game. But a scary situation there. Hopefully, though, everything is all right with Dante Harrison.
Harrison seemed to be alert and dapping up his teammates as he was carted off the field.
That's good to see. But 3-3 our score, Travis, in terms of the game and what we've seen so far. What are some things that you've kind of taken away so far, Travis?
Well, again, we mentioned how penalties are going to be important for Lock Haven to avoid, and so far they have not been able to avoid them. It cost them a touchdown on the opening drive. They had a big play right there before Harrison went down hurt, but then that play got backed up due to Hicks receiving an unsportsmanlike conduct call on the play. So right now, penalties really seem to be hurting the momentum that this Lock Haven ball club has been able to sustain so far early on in the game. And again, this Rams unit, good offensive drive to start the game, stalled out a little bit in the red zone, missed a couple opportunities down there, but both teams, even with the mistakes that they've made and some quality play, still a tie ball game early on. So basically it's almost like we're starting over from the very beginning at this point in the game. So still everything to play for both ball clubs, and still curious to see who's going to make that critical adjustment that's going to be able to swing the game in favor of one ball club over another.
Now Shepherd will have to be without one of its best players on defense in Dante Harrison. So we'll see who's able to step up on the Rams side of things, or if Lock Haven can take advantage of that. But the clock is rolling now, and we are back to action. Sanchez in the shotgun with no backs in the backfield. And under some pressure, throws at the last moment out of bounds. Nathan Muley providing the pressure. I believe the ball was able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And it looked like wide receiver De'Aaron Lawrence was running a drag route away from where Sanchez was rolling. Nobody really followed him on that play, but you don't want your quarterback to try to stop and throw the ball back across the field like that. But, again, you're backed up, 3rd and 15, not a lot of plays in the playbook for a down a distance like that, so forcing Lock Haven into a punt here early on.
And Miles Greer will return from inside
He's got a lane.
the 25-yard line, and Greer, as you said, has a lane, cuts it back toward the middle, and gets tackled at midfield. I thought maybe he had more room to the outside, but
you want to run
flag
away,
on the play.
You want to run away from the bad guys, not into the teeth of the bad guys.
Maybe he just wanted to make sure they knew his name.
He was looking to hit somebody. He's been standing on the sidelines for a while. He didn't want to get back there and mix it up a little bit.
It gets it out to about midfield, so it would be great field position. But the blindside block will back it up. So,
and again, at a certain era of football, those peel-back plays were commonplace on special teams plays like that. But as you see, the game is changing and evolving. Referees are being a lot more vigilant and trying to eliminate those type of plays because you really don't want those high-impact collisions. You want to minimize the injuries, and especially now, referees are going to be particularly heightened about staying on top of that after having that incident with Harrison just a few moments ago.
Yeah, so this essentially is like
letting both.
It was a great punt from Lock Haven, and Shepherd has it now at their own 11-yard line. So the Rams are backed up here, 1st down and 10 with 12:50 to go in this second quarter. We are tied at 3. Morgan in the gun with no backs in the backfield. Malachi Brown is split out to the near side as a slot receiver, or Jeremiah Taylor, the receiver next to him. And a little bit of delay in the action. Here's the officials. Had to get lined up. I believe we're having maybe a discussion with Coach McCook about that penalty. As we know, he's definitely not happy about it. Seth Morgan in the shotgun formation looking to throw. has time, throws it over the middle, complete to Malachi Brown, who spins out of a tackle and then is brought down at the 20-yard line. Again, making the plays, Cody Romano, the Penn State transfer at linebacker.
And he didn't have to travel very far. I noticed that as we were making our trip up there, we saw past a lot of signs for State College on the way up the road, so not very far to travel. So he might be able to stay in his old apartment. And that's not a bad commute for the grad student.
Linebacker U.
Yeah.
Penn State and Lock Haven picking from their guys. Here's a pass intended for Dorner, but falls incomplete. Good coverage on the play from the Lock Haven side.
You could tell there was a moment of hesitation because Dorner was looking back at his quarterback like, are you going to throw it more vertical or are you going to lead me across the field? Because usually the rule of thumb is if the corner is trailing, you want to go a little bit more vertical, but if the corner is playing a little bit over the top, you want to lead him across the field, and they both kind of got caught in that indecision on the play.
Victor Hunt in coverage. Here's the pass complete to Jeremiah Taylor, who throws a stiff arm and has some room down the sideline. A great tackle there on the near side by Kaiser Henry to save potentially a touchdown. And it's a first down and 10 and first down and more for the Rams as they get it across the 45-yard line up to the 47.
And I like the way the Shepherd offense is mixing things up in the passing game. They're establishing those short throws underneath. It's basically an extension of the run game. You make that defense make an adjustment, and it's going to help set up those deep shots down the field.
Morgan slings it to the near side, nearly intercepted off the deflection.
Malachi Brown, he didn't get his head around on the play. They've ran that play several times this year with success with the running back flaring out of the backfield. You can think back to those plays last year with Ronnie Brown running that route. But Malachi Brown was just late getting his head around. You got to realize that the defense isn't on you. That you're pretty much going to be the first option on that play. He's got to get his head around quicker. He would have had that ball in his hands with room to run.
Izzy Ramos was the man in coverage for Lock Haven. Morgan throws. Far sideline, incomplete, intended for Barry Hill. Again,
that was
good coverage from Kaiser Henry.
And not only that, Raymel Hester was playing underneath, and that's something that you have. If you want to throw that corner out, you got to make sure that outside defensive back is coming up and attacking a shorter route underneath, because if he's able to sag back, a lot of times they can bait a quarterback into that throw thinking that corner is open, where that outside corner can just drop back and pick him off. And very dangerous throw that time. Hester nearly coming up with the interception.
3rd and 10 from the 47. Morgan under some heat. Throws far sideline or near sideline, complete to Barry Hill. Hill throws a stiff arm. Hill still on his feet, and he's going to take it all the way in for a Shepherd Rams touchdown. What a play by Barry Hill. A great catch and run, and the Rams score the first touchdown of the afternoon to make it 9-3 Shepherd with 11:12 to go in this first half.
And Hill that time, it just looks like that. And they've had success running that play. It looked like a post wheel route on this near sideline, and Hill running that wheel route was able to slip right behind the coverage, and Morgan able to drop the ball in the bucket, and Hill able to make it the rest of the way.
James Bozik's extra point is up and good. Shepherd 10, Lock Haven 3. Let's take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
I'm Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare and life insurance agency. We are here to help you navigate the Medicare maze. We represent all of the major carriers, and you do not pay any more to go through us than if you go directly through a carrier. But if you go through us, you have a local professional to help you with all your Medicare needs, not a voice that could be in some other part of the world. Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare agency. BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or 304-283-0864.
We welcome you back to Lock Haven. Our score, Shepherd 10, Lock Haven 3. Nick Verzolini alongside me, Travis Smith. Shepherd able to get into the end zone after forcing a punt. They get a penalty on their punt return from Miles Greer, backing them up to their own 11-yard line, but take the ball 89 yards into the end zone. And the drive capped off by the big catch and run from Barry Hill. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice of the 16th District. Here's a short kick fielded around the 6-yard line. Lock Haven has a nice hit. Ball came out.
I'm thinking that was down. He hit the ground and the ball came loose. Ground can't cause a fumble.
Dwayne Grantham did recover it, but Lock Haven will over at its own 25-yard line. And, Travis, we get to see this Lock Haven offense again. Kind of a weird ending to their drive. Obviously, they were backed up after the penalty, but also they had, the long delay with Harrison's injury. So, overall, though, we've seen some good things, and they were moving the ball up until that penalty on Chris Hicks for taunting.
And that's something, and they've shown a variety of looks. They kind of remind me of Edinboro as far as using formations, motions, and shifts, just trying to give that defense a variety of looks to try to keep them off balance. And again, this Rams defense has been bend but don't break all year long, but Lock Haven isn't doing themselves any favors with these penalties that have put them in a hole, and it's tough to dig yourself out of a hole on 3rd and 15.
And big play in the backfield from the Rams defense. Coming off the edge was Harold O'Neal, I believe. Grantham in there as well, Jack Baxter. But a great job by that Shepherd defense to stop that for no gain. It will be 2nd down and 10 after Collier got that carry.
And this Rams ball club has come out with a little bit of extra fire in their belly after that extended break with the Harrison injury, looking to rally for their injured teammate. The offense went out there, able to take care of business, and now the defense able to go out there and set the tone on 1st down, setting up a 2nd and 10 for the Bald Eagles offense.
Play action. Looking deep near sideline and incomplete. They're going to rule that pass interference.
He made no attempt on the ball. That's as blatant as it gets. McDowell, you got to sell it better than that, man. Come on.
I just didn't think it was really catchable. So
you could make that argument that the ball wasn't catchable, but McDowell didn't do anything to make his case any better. He ran straight at the dude. Oh, you got to get your head around, man.
Maybe he wanted to have the, did you see Swamp Kings by chance?
Oh, and there's also another flag on the back end, so maybe offsetting.
So maybe offsetting. But if you saw Swamp Kings, Major Wright talked about one of their games where he just decided, I wasn't going for the ball. I was just wanting to set the tone and make a big hit. So maybe that's what McDowell was thinking.
Hey, I can't knock him for that.
So we have roughing the passer against Shepherd as well as pass interference. So it would have been a big penalty anyway. They end up getting the pass interference 15 yards. So both penalties were against the Rams instead of offsetting penalties. 10:16 to go in this first half, 10-3.
Because McDowell may have had a play on the ball. It was hanging up in the air a little bit. It was sailing. Sanchez was throwing the ball into the wind. So McDowell missing an opportunity, but like you said, roughing the passer. And this Rams defense motivated, certainly, but that time just a little bit too much energy and got penalized for it.
1st down and 10 for the Bald Eagles now, up to the 39-yard line of Lock Haven. Sanchez directing traffic and is under pressure, gets hit again and fires a dart in there, complete to Chandler Baker. 1st down, Lock Haven. Impressive throw from the grad student under pressure.
Standing tall in the pocket. He took a big hit from J.T. Kamoyao coming from the backside, but able to, like you mentioned, throw a dart into Chandler Baker. A dangerous kick returner as well. But Baker coming off of a big game last week where he had 6 catches for 43 yards and a touchdown versus Millersville. Also averaged 19.2 yards per kickoff return.
Collier gets the carry and sheds off Dwayne Grantham. Kevin Cowser up to make the tackle at the 40-yard line of Shepherd as Lock Haven moving the football once again. 9:30 to go in this first half, 10-3. Bald Eagles trail Shepherd, but they're moving.
Throwing the ball with success, but Lock Haven shouldn't look to completely abandon the run. They have a big physical running back, and we haven't said it enough, that is a big offensive line, so you really want to try to impose your will early on to try to set yourself up for some runs later in the game.
Sanchez throws high and incomplete, I should say. Emilio Pena in coverage high and behind Chandler Baker, the intended receiver. Good job, though, by Collier to pick up that blitz.
Good eye on that one there, Mr. Verzolini. Collier coming up, and that's one of the things you want out of your running back. Certainly you want them to be able to run the ball, catch it out of the backfield, but most importantly, you want them to be able to block in passing situations when they're called in. You look at any running back that gets drafted into the NFL, it doesn't matter how talented they are. The biggest question those coaches want to know is, are you going to be able to stand your ground when we need you to pass block? And Collier was certainly up to the challenge on that last play. Just Sanchez maybe feeling that clock speeding up a bit in his head, threw the ball a little bit high over the middle.
Shepherd brings 4 here, slinging it over the middle of Sanchez again, but incomplete. Hicks, as well as another receiver there in the area, and Chase Holmes, the other intended receiver potentially on that one.
4th down coming up, and looks like that Lock Haven offense is going to stay on the field. The wide receiver was there. Maybe it was a miscommunication between the wide receiver and the quarterback. Maybe he was expecting him to whip back outside, throwing the ball, but the Hicks continued into the middle.
8:58 to go in this first half. Clock stopped after the incompletion. It's a 4 wide receiver set for the Bald Eagles. See if Shepherd dials up another blitz here on 4th down. They do. Throw over the middle, incomplete, intended for Baker. Miles Greer in coverage, and it's a turnover on downs for Lock Haven. Shepherd will take over.
And again, their timing's thrown off just a little bit. That time, the wide receiver, Chandler Baker, was open over the middle. Sanchez threw it a little bit behind him, but Baker also mistimed his jump. He really didn't have to leave his feet on that play. So again, you're seeing that this pressure that this Rams defensive front is able to apply on the quarterback is really starting to throw off some of the timing and some of the chemistry with this Lock Haven offense. They've been able to make plays, but you're starting to see that defensive line, now they're starting to win up front. And Lock Haven, they're not doing themselves any favor by not running the football, too. You want to try to slow those guys down. You don't want to keep on dropping back trying to pass all day against this speedy unit.
Morgan with the pump fake has all day to throw on 1st and 10 from the 41. Fires one high and incomplete, intended for Cameron Dorner. Now bring up 2nd and 10.
The wide receivers have to be able to adjust their routes. I know they wanted that deep shot on that play. It wasn't there. After that, you almost have to have like a scramble drill type of mentality if you're a wide receiver. He's not going to be able to throw the ball that far down the field, so you're going to have to find an empty space, work back to your quarterback, and give him an option to throw the ball. Good protection up front by that Rams O-line. The wide receivers got to hold up their end of the bargain and help the quarterback out.
Pollard, the man in coverage, play action. Morgan under some heat this time. Throws high and incomplete, intended for Jeremiah Taylor. And it'll be 3rd and 10. Shepherd both teams not really getting a lot of balance early on here, Travis.
It's been all passing here for this last little stretch in the second quarter from both teams. And again, Shepherd's going away from what worked for them early on in the game. The short stuff to the sideline that's going to make that defense adjust, or just the easy completion, kind of an extension of the running game. They're getting away from that and just trying to take shots downfield. That is not your strength. Stick to what you're good at, work over the middle of the field, set those big plays up, but you're just not going to be able to outthrow people in this type of ball game.
3rd and 10, Morgan throws incomplete. Looked like a miscommunication between him and Jeremiah Taylor. Victor Hunt in coverage for Lock Haven. The Rams go 3 and out, so they get the turnover on downs. It doesn't hurt the Bald Eagles with a good field position for Shepherd, and Barrick will go back to punt. Baker back deep to return, standing at his own 18-yard line. 8:34 to go in this second quarter. Shepherd leads 10-3. Here's the punt from Baker, and it's fair caught at the 19-yard line. Or the punt from Barrick to Baker, I should say. Our second quarter is presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361, as well as Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com.
And with it being windy, we had some rain early on today, so that may not be so much of a factor. But it is windy. You mentioned we're down here in the valley. The wind is whipping through out towards the water. So it's going to be tough to have those passes that are going to be on target consistently. Both ball clubs will benefit from getting back to running the football and setting up those passes as opposed to trying to force it.
Here's Collier on the ground, stretched out well by the Rams. O'Neal coming up to make the tackle as well as Dwayne Grantham. And that will bring up a 2nd and 11. Loss of 1 on the play.
And again, I understand you want to be balanced and try to spread that defense out, but when you try those stretch plays, that buck sweep type motion where you have both guards pulling play side, that really just plays to the strength of that Rams defense. They're able to fly to the ball and tackle with the best of them. I really don't know why you try to challenge that Rams defense at this point by trying to use speed to the outside. It's to their advantage when you try to play like that.
Sanchez looking to run for the first time today. Slides down. Jack Baxter, the man in the area, forcing him to slide down. It'll be a 3rd and long for Lock Haven. 7:35 to go in this first half. Shepherd on top 10-3.
And talking about the speed on the defensive side of the ball for Shepherd, you saw it on display on that play where it looked like Sanchez, who is a good athlete, not known for his running ability, but he had some space on that play and looked like he had an opportunity for a much larger gain. But again, you catch that Rams defense out of position, it is only going to be for a brief moment before they're able to recognize it and adjust and rally to the football and setting up this Lock Haven offense for a 3rd and long.
3rd and 8. Sanchez throws incomplete. Another miscommunication from a quarterback and his wide receiver. Young, the intended receiver, and Lock Haven goes 3 and out. They will be forced to punt. Miles Greer goes back to return it for Shepherd, standing inside his own 40-yard line.
And you see the wide receiver coming over to his head coach, and the head coach agreeing with him. That corner was playing off, so the option is you look for the shorter route and try to break a tackle and make a play, and the quarterback was thinking, well, believing in his wide receiver, he's going to be able to beat him deep, took a shot deep, and there was nobody there to get the ball.
Zachman the punt. Greer will return. He lets it bounce at midfield. Not a great punt, and Shepherd will take over with excellent field position. A little bit of a...
And again, like the way we're situated at in the stadium, the wind is coming in at a weird angle. So that time when he was punting the ball, he was punting into the wind on that play. You can see it kind of hang up in the air. You could even tell on the bounce where it almost bounced back into Lock Haven territory.
Yeah, it almost looks like the field is like on a ledge as you look out toward the softball field. And it almost looks like the softball field is like underneath the football field from our angle. So it's kind of a cool view, but and like you mentioned, you know, the wind kind of moving all around right now. As it went from the sun coming out and feeling like it was going to be warm to Travis having to put the jacket back on. And the Rams will run the football with Barnett, and Barnett establishing some physicality on that run down to the 49-yard line. Shepherd moves the ball into Lock Haven territory.
And again, there's just many benefits to running the football. One, you're not risking it with a pass. You keep your offense on schedule where you're not forced into being a one-dimensional team where you have to pass. You run the ball early on, you pass when you want to, not when you have to.
Barnett gets the carry again.
Romano in on the tackle.
Romano, that's a collision right there.
Yeah.
Two big guys, as we mentioned. Romano, the Penn State transfer, standing at 6'3", 224. Barnett about 6 foot, 220. So big bodies on both ends. Under 6 minutes to go in this first half. Shepherd up by a touchdown at 10-3. Malachi Brown back in the backfield for 3rd down and about 6. Morgan throwing deep corner route and incomplete. Couldn't make the adjustment there was Barry Hill.
I give him credit for the effort. That ball was, again, hanging up in the air. You're throwing the ball. It's a weird breeze that's coming through here, and Hill looking back into the sun, trying to adjust with the wind. He gave a tremendous effort trying to reel that one in. But, again, those deep shots to the sideline, it's not what this Rams offense does the best. They've gotten away from working the ball over the middle.
4th down and 4, and Lock Haven will take its first timeout of the afternoon. 5:44 to go in this first half. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs? Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
We welcome you back to Lock Haven University here in Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Our score, Shepherd 10, Lock Haven 3. 5:44 to go in this first half. Shepherd going to go for it here on 4th down and 4 from the Lock Haven 46-yard line. And now actually the punting unit coming on. So it looked like Shepherd was going to go for it before the timeout from the Bald Eagles, but now they will punt. Barrick sends a high kick, and that wind just kind of holds it in the air, and it is going to be caught at the 16-yard line.
I give Baker credit for fielding that one. He didn't want that ball to roll and have his offense pinned deep. But again, you're able trying to judge that ball while it's hanging up in the air. It's dancing around like a knuckleball. But he was able to field it cleanly. And you could tell that Lock Haven punt return unit, they're not looking to get returns. They're really not rushing anybody. They're not trying to set up a wall or any type of return. They're just looking like, we don't want to make a mistake on special teams, which I can't blame you. Your defense did a good job. You just want the ball back and let your offense go to work. So no reason to try something fancy or risky trying to get a punt return.
And Shepherd content right now to play field position. Collier on the carry. It's turned into one of those defensive games that we've seen Shepherd play in quite a bit. Be second down here for the Bald Eagles. Gain of about 3 on the play. Should be a 2nd and 7 for Lock Haven. Sanchez looks to the sideline. JT Komayao coming up to make that last tackle for the Rams. Collier remaining the back. 3 receivers to the near side. Sanchez pumps once. Rolling back toward the near side and throws incomplete. He wanted his wide receiver, Lawrence, on the comeback route, but it fell incomplete. Should be 3rd and 7 now for the Bald Eagles as they have hit a rut offensively. Both teams really have, but Shepherd, since that Berry Hill play, hasn't really seen too much.
Yeah, I think that timeout was much needed for both ball clubs. I think both teams need to go to sidelines and have their coach get them settled down, get refocused on what your goals are here today, because things have certainly been discombobulated here as of late.
Had the long delay with the Dante Harrison injury, and since then the offenses have really pretty much settled down. I know we did have the Berry Hill touchdown after that, but it seemed like both teams were really clicking in terms of moving the ball down the field with a long drive. Sanchez trying a deep shot here for Lawrence, and intercepted by Christian McDowell at the 44-yard line. So Shepherd takes over now with the football, and that interception may be the spark the Rams need. Again, you're going to have great field position, but essentially it's a punt.
It is. Not sure why Sanchez decided to just throw that one up on that play. Again, this offense for Lock Haven has been really struggling to try to find some type of rhythm after the Harrison injury, and you throw up a play like that again, like you said, it is a punt, but just in terms of momentum, you just don't want to turn the ball over, because now that offense goes out, and now they're just that much more motivated because they get an extra possession, they get good field position, they already have the lead, and again, you're just starting to see that momentum swing more and more in favor of the Rams.
Here's Malachi Brown. Great cutback. Lowers his shoulder for a first down into Lock Haven territory down to the 41-yard line. Another thing here, Travis, not only does this give Shepherd some momentum, but it seemed like early Lock Haven was doing a good job of passing underneath, getting a lot of short completions, and now they're just going deep on like every play, and it hasn't really worked out. The Rams defense has done a good job.
And again, we've talked about the wind. If you just look at the flags, it is not conducive for you to throw balls that are just going to hang in the air. The plays that you're going to have the success with is going to be the short stuff underneath where the wind really isn't going to be able to play that much of a factor.
Morgan tucks and runs and slides down at the 36-yard line. Don't see it too often from Seth Morgan, but he is not unable to run.
A lot of times he does a good job as far as his mobility is concerned, is just extending plays, getting outside, breaking contain, and taking those checkdowns. I always just find it kind of funny that the quarterbacks that don't scramble that much know how to slide like experts. They must have brought in somebody from Major League Baseball to give them a clinic or something during the summer.
Play action. Morgan slings it underneath, complete to Barry Hill, down to the 34-yard line before Hill is tackled on the play again. It's Romano coming up to make that play, as well as Vernon for Lockhaven. It'll be third down for the Rams, third and about 4 from the 34.
And what a difference a year makes. You look back at this ball game last year, Rams able to come away with a 72-7 win. Right now they're locked into a tight ball game with the Bald Eagles.
Malachi Brown with a nice stutter step move picks up the first down for the Rams before he's knocked out of bounds by Hester. It's first down and 10 for Shepherd.
Malachi Brown, we talked about making that conversion from wide receiver to running back. And usually when you see that type of switch, your biggest concern is the physicality. Well, that hasn't been the issue for Malachi Brown. He's certainly not one to shy away from contact. His issue has been this year holding on to the football, but that's something he's been able to do pretty successfully for the past couple of weeks.
Morgan with time to throw again, looking deep over the middle and incomplete. Trying to hit a streaking Cordell Bannon.
That was Kasir Henry supplying good coverage underneath.
So it'll be second and 10 for the Rams, 2:16 to go. We have a player down and Henry in the back of the end zone.
It looked like he came down awkwardly on that shoulder when he was going up for the ball. That's always tough. You're extending, laying out, trying to deny the wide receiver the ball, coming down hard on the turf.
Excuse me, that last pass not intended for Batten. It was intended for number 18, not number 19. And that is Gabe Bigby, who we haven't seen a ton from, but I believe a freshman on this Shepherd offense that I think Coach McCook highlighted in his preseason press conference as a guy that he thought maybe down the line him and Batten could be big receivers for them. So Bigby was the intended receiver there. Henry helped off the field looking to be walking off of his own power.
May have been somewhere he got the wind. Yeah. Maybe somewhere he got the wind knocked out of him. He's favoring that shoulder that he came down on. So just a hard hit on the turf when you're making a play for the ball. And you mentioned the young wide receiver coming in for Shepherd. That's a tough lineup to crack when you got guys like Jeremiah Taylor, Barry Hill, and Cameron Dorner out there. So you're not going to get many opportunities.
So it'll be third down and long for the Rams. Morgan evades the sack and throws over the middle, complete. Inside the 5, Barry Hill stretches for the end zone. He's going to be marked a yard short. He has really stepped up the last 2 weeks in the slot.
And I just think with just his size, his athleticism in and out of breaks, it really just suits his style to be that inside wide receiver. It's tough to get a matchup on him, and he's been able to exploit that so far today. And good patience that time by Morgan, and excellent blocking up front by that Rams offensive line, giving Morgan a chance to pump fake, reset his feet, find his second and third option on that play. A little trick play coming up here for the Rams.
Wildcat as Barnett is the back. Morgan goes out at wide receiver. They run Barnett, and he lowers the shoulder, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Shepherd. They will extend the lead out to 16-3, and the Rams using the Wildcat to get 6.
And you come out with that base personnel look, so it's hard for the defensive coordinator to get a gauge on what you're going to try to do. And when you see Seth Morgan motioning out to the sideline and line up as a wide receiver, you hope that those defenders are going to be able to stay disciplined to their keys. And that time, they were not able to do that, and the Rams able to punch it in for a touchdown.
James Bozik's extra point is good. Nobody went out and covered Morgan. I thought maybe he'd throw it to him.
Is that what you thought?
17-3, 1:23 to go. No, I think that was definitely the right call to go to the Wild Goat.
Yeah.
How about that? Wild Goat. 1:23 to go in this first half. Nick Verzolini alongside me. Travis Smith, the Rams, cap it off of a Jordan Barnett touchdown. His first touchdown as a Ram. Big drive for Shepherd right before halftime. Our scoring drives are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. So Shepherd will kick it away. They do get the ball as well to start the second half, and all of a sudden, Travis, if they're able to get a stop here before halftime, things could really be going in Shepherd's way.
And a critical drive early on for Lock Haven. They started out the game looking really strong. That holding penalty, unfortunately, took a touchdown off the board for them. They had to settle for a field goal, and after that, they really haven't been able to string any type of consistency together to put some more points on the board. So they're really going to have to try to do something. Even if they don't come away with points, you just want a good, sustained drive. Just look to get this first down and then see how things go from there, because if they go out there and it's 3 and out, it's going to be a long day in the second half for this Bald Eagles ball club.
And Shepherd has also dominated the field position battle, and an opportunity to continue that here as the penalty on Lock Haven on the extra point will allow Shepherd to kick off from midfield. So it'll be interesting to see if they just kick it out of the end zone or maybe send a sky kick down there. And it looks like Bozick will kick it out of the end zone. So the penalty doesn't really hurt Lock Haven in that sense as they get it at the 25.
It hurts him in the sense that Baker,
they couldn't get a return.
Yeah, that Baker wasn't able to get a chance to return. He is a good return man.
But we haven't seen much from him today, as Shepherd has done a good job of avoiding that kickoff return. Coach Wright, really one of the best special teams coaches in terms of he just has different things each week, it seems like, that make an impact on the game. And today, even though they haven't had a block or a big return, it seems like that ability to limit the Lock Haven special teams has been really solid for Shepherd. First down and 10 for Sanchez and the Lock Haven offense, and what is a really important first half drive. And they go to Baker underneath, and Baker gets across the 30-yard line. Omari Terry there to make the tackle.
Good open field tackle that time by Terry, emerging as one of the leaders on that defensive side of the ball between him and Anelio Pena, a couple of versatile defenders.
Baker again making the catch. Terry again makes the tackle right at the sticks, close to the first down marker.
All right,
they will move the chains as they get it out to the 35-yard line. So a 6-yard pass and then a 4-yard pass. Since of a 1st and 10 for Lock Haven. Sanchez looking to throw again. Under pressure and brought down in the backfield. Coming up and making the sack was JT Komayao coming through with the sack, and now Sanchez is slow to get up. He got tackled around the ankles. And this would be, obviously huge. You don't want to lose your starting quarterback, who has had a pretty good season for Lock Haven, comes in from Stony Brook, as we mentioned in the pregame show. Grad student with a ton of experience, and if he is down and out, Lock Haven may be down and out themselves. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 30.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back to Lock Haven. Sanchez still down on the field for the Bald Eagles. He may just be getting stretched out, which, if that's the case, would be significantly better for Lock Haven, obviously.
But again, this is a critical drive, and they have a grad student ready to come in and step in for him with Kyle Zajac. Has an opportunity to make some big plays for this Lock Haven offense, some much-needed plays. So they're going to be backed up. Sanchez able to walk off under his own power, a bit hobbled.
It looks like he's going to get some help from his teammates, or at least support, but he is kind of hobbling his way off. So they will take a timeout, as the injury occurring inside of 2 minutes would be a 10-second runoff in this situation, but Lock Haven burns their timeout.
And And again, that was a long developing play, and you got to credit that Rams coverage. That was more of a coverage sack than anything because Sanchez had some time to stand in the pocket, but there was just nothing open. Then he pulled the ball down, tried to get outside, and JT Comayao you don't want to give him that extra time to get to the quarterback, and he was able to bring him down.
So Zajac will come into the game and throw and complete to Baker. He's had a good day again into Shepherd territory.
And that time, Lock Haven giving Shepherd a dose of their own medicine. They used that post wheel concept on the near sideline. That time, De'Aaron Lawrence was the wide receiver that was running the post. And then Baker able to wheel out to the sidelines, getting into that void of the defense. And Zajac able to come in and throw an accurate pass with his first attempt of the day.
Yeah, that's tough to do. So good job by the grad student in Zajac. And now looking to throw again. He throws it onto the far sideline and incomplete. Intended for Marquise Perry, the sophomore. Bring up a 2nd down and 10 now with 36 seconds to go before halftime. Shepherd on top 17-3. A big drive here for the Bald Eagles, trying to keep it close heading into halftime with Shepherd getting the ball to start the second half. They moved the ball now to the 39-yard line of Shepherd on the Baker completion and run. 36 seconds to go.
Lock Haven realizing that Rams secondary a bit depleted by injury. Try to get him with a double move on that play, and Zajac making the safe throw, throwing it more to the sideline where either his wide receiver is going to get the ball or it's going to go out of bounds.
Pressure comes from Nathan Muley. A pass, though, complete to Chris Hicks, the tight end.
Penalty on the play, and I'm not sure if they're going to call that roughing the quarterback or not. It looked like it was a busted play, so could easily be an eligible man downfield if they tried to set up a screen. That was just an awkward play from the snap.
Yeah, we await the call from the official here as the wind picks up here at Lock Haven University. 25 seconds to go before halftime. Shepherd on top by 2 touchdowns at 17-3. Also, it appears a bus is backing up behind us, so that's that beeping in case you're wondering. It's actually going to be, I believe, a hold against Lock Haven, so that will back them up. Wasn't very good holding considering how many guys were in the backfield for Shepherd.
Can you hold better? It's something that Zajac may be saying to his old lineman up front.
So that backs it up to the 44-yard line. 23 seconds to go. Zajac throwing deep near sideline and intercepted. A battle for the football on both ends, and it's picked off by Gianni Gamble. Gamble down the near sideline, and he's out of bounds. Shepherd getting another big play defensively. An interception earlier from Christian McDowell, and here Gamble comes up with the interception.
And once again, penalties are just putting this Lock Haven ball club in a bad spot. They were driving the ball, even with the backup quarterback coming in, making some plays. They get that momentum derailed by a penalty. The very next play, the quarterback tries to force the ball on the sidelines. And I'm not going to be angry at the quarterback on that play. I'm going to be angry at the wide receiver on that play. If the defender had a chance to make a play on the ball, you bet the wide receiver had a chance to make a play on the ball. He gave up on the play, and then the Rams defender was able to come away with the interception. So if I'm him, the wide receiver I'm speaking of, I wouldn't want to go back to the sidelines because I'm sure his coaches are not going to be happy with him.
Morgan going to take a shot here before halftime, throwing incomplete, intended for Cam Dorner. Potentially they could have gotten field goal range there if that was completed. But, yeah, I'm not certain if the wide receiver thought maybe it was going to be a penalty. As I mentioned, they were kind of both fighting for positioning there on that interception.
But certainly not a play that you expect out of a grad student like De'Aaron Lawrence, a quality football player. Like if the defender has a chance to make a play on the ball, then the wide receiver has a chance to make a play on the ball.
But Seth Morgan takes the knee with the final 2 seconds, and we head to halftime. Shepherd 17, Lock Haven 3. We'll take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. We're back in 2 minutes.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
We're at the half. Time for a scoring recap, stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division I Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
Welcome you back to Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Again, our score here at the half, Shepherd 17, Lock Haven 3, as we welcome you into the halftime show, brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Nick Verzley and Travis Smith here at the half. Travis, what were your first half thoughts?
One, this is a much improved Lock Haven football team. If you would have told me coming into this game that the difference would only be 14 points at halftime, I would not believe you. But Lock Haven is as good as advertised. They've had some big wins this season, and they were coming in motivated today to try to pull off a win against the Shepherd Rams. That first drive certainly looked like they were on their way to at least have a shot at doing that, but then that penalty derailed that touchdown attempt. They had to settle for a field goal, and they really haven't had a chance to get back on track after that. And I think that they've gotten away from the running game a bit prematurely. That is something that Rams ball club has been very good at over the years, is just spooking teams out of their original game plan, because Shepherd was able to score so many points so fast that if a team was a good running team, they had to kind of abandon that type of play early because they had to try to chase points. It looks like they're using that formula today, because right now the Rams able to answer that opening field goal from Lock Haven with 17 unanswered points, and now the game's starting to get to a situation where Lock Haven isn't going to be able to run the ball. They're going to have to throw the ball, and then that's even more question marks, because now you have a backup quarterback in, and you're not quite sure what you have with him. But Rams able to do what they need to do to pull off a win, and that's something that they've been able to do successfully quite a bit so far this year, coming in, like we mentioned, with a 4-1 record, and they've faced a lot of adversity this year. They've shown that they've got the grit to pull out these tight wins, whether it be with defense or special teams plays or offense just making timely plays. So right now the Rams are showing what they've been showing all year long, is that they're comfortable in these tight situations, that they're comfortable gritting out tough, gutty wins. And again, they're in a situation, they're on the road playing against a much improved football team, and they're still able to make enough plays to go into halftime with a big lead.
Yep, 17-3 our score here at the half. Let's take a look at some first half stats, brought to you by Larry DeMarco at Modern Realty Results. If you're looking for a home in the tri-state, they have you covered. We'll start with the Rams. Seth Morgan, 14 of 24 here at the half. That's 58%. 171 yards passing and a 53-yard touchdown to Barry Hill. On the ground for Shepherd, Jordan Barnett leads the way on the ground with just 5 carries for 24 yards, almost 5 yards a carry, and a touchdown for him as well. Malachi Brown on the day has ran the ball 4 times for 19 yards. So Shepherd is averaging about 5 yards a carry between its 2 running backs, but haven't really ran the ball too much. We'll see if we see more of that in the second half with the 14-point lead. In the receiving category, Berry Hill leads the team in receiving at the half. 5 catches, 95 yards, and a score, including that 53-yard touchdown. Jeremiah Taylor got things going early in that first quarter. He has 4 catches, 45 yards for the Rams. At halftime, Malachi Brown has also done a good job of catching the ball out of the backfield. 4 catches for 21 yards. Cam Dorner held to just 1 catch in that first half for 10 yards. On the defensive side, for Shepherd, Dwayne Grantham leads the team at the half in tackles with 6. Komiyawa 5 and a sack. Dante Harrison had 4 tackles before he unfortunately left the game with a significant injury as he had to be carted off. Not certain the exact status there of Dante, but he was talking and interacting with his teammates on his way out, so that was a positive sign toward the end of that long pause in the action. In case you're wondering, if you just now tuned in, why it's only halftime, that is the case. On the Lock Haven side, their leading tackler at the half, Cody Romano with 7, Hester with 6, Pollard with 3, and Henry with 3. In terms of passing the football, Danny Sanchez finished the first half with very similar numbers to Seth Morgan, 13 of 23, 117 yards. That's 57% completion percentage and an interception. Sanchez left the game with an injury toward the end of that first half. We'll see if he's able to continue. Kyle Zajac in that first half and his little stretch there toward the end, 1 for 3, an interception, 33 yards passing. On the ground for the Bald Eagles, Chris Collier has ran well in his limited carries, 8 carries for 24 yards. And then receiving for Lock Haven, Lawrence has 6 catches to lead the team at the half for 31 yards. Chandler Baker with 4 catches for 61 yards. Chris Hicks with 2 catches for 27 yards. And Chris Collier with 1 catch for 19 yards. So we head into halftime again. Our score 17-3, Shepherd on top. Travis, it's pretty similar attacks from both teams in terms of what they're trying to do. Shepherd now at the 14-point lead. They get the ball to start the second half. I would expect them to potentially try to run it a little bit more in the second half with the 14-point lead, especially if they're able to get it out to 21 or more here early in the third quarter.
And it certainly makes sense because early on in this game they have embraced a battle of attrition, of attack, just playing field position, not trying to risk plays on special teams. They realize that they have the slight advantage, so there's no reason to allow Lock Haven to have an opportunity to get back in the game. So what you want to do is limit those crazy plays where they can have some type of big momentum-changing play. You take that away, you play it tight, and you hope that the better team's able to come out with the win. But I agree with you. I would expect a heavy dose of Malachi Brown and Jordan Barnett in the second half. You don't want to try to throw the ball around too much like we mentioned. It is a weird type of wind current that's coming through this stadium, so don't try to tempt fate. Keep it on the ground, throw short stuff over the middle, move those chains, and most importantly, eat up clock.
On the Lock Haven side, it's important for them to, I think, continue their balance, especially if there is an injury at quarterback. I mean, they do have a backup who has experience, at least he's a grad student in Zajac, but I'm not certain how much he's played over the years. Sanchez, if he's down, it's going to be important for Collier to probably have to carry this offense in the second half, Travis.
And he's a good running back. I'm not sure why they stopped using him the way they did, especially when we talked about just the overwhelming size advantage that they have on the offensive line. You're not playing to your strength. If you want to run the ball, even if you're not getting big yards in the first half, you still stick with it. It's like a boxer going to the body early in the fight. It may not look dramatic. It may not get the fans on their feet, but as that fight begins to wear on, those shots are going to start to really register and pay some dividends. It's the same thing with the running game. If you're able to use that big offensive line, have them impose that size advantage, and start wearing down that smaller Rams defensive front, then you're going to start gashing the defense later on in the game with the run game. And now that you have a backup quarterback in the game, it's only going to be to your advantage to do that because, one, you're going to put him in easy down-the-distance situations where the defense isn't going to be able to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. And the Rams defensive line so far has had the advantage with their speed and athleticism because they've done a good job getting in the backfield and rattling those quarterbacks, because even before Sanchez went out with the injury, he looked rattled.
Yeah.
He did not look comfortable in the backfield. And, again, that coverage on the back end, you also got to give credit to that Rams secondary. They've had some good coverage on those wide receivers that's allowing those defensive linemen to get home and pressure Sanchez. So, again, Lockhaven, get back to what you're good at. Ground and pound that football. You want to eat up clock, keep that Shepherd Rams offense on the sideline, and it's only going to help you to keep the ball on the ground as opposed to trying to throwing it in the air with this crazy wind current that's coming through the stadium.
We got about 10:40 to go before the start of the second half. Let's take a 2-minute break. On the other side of that break, you'll hear from Colin McLaughlin back in the studios in Martinsburg, and he will have the halftime scoreboard update for you. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Back in 2 minutes.
Mommy, where does flavor come from?
Well, when people love food, they cook it on a Traeger grill. Meat, corn, even pie. And then the Traeger does the rest, which brings everyone to celebrate this beautiful thing that they've created. Because when you share delicious food with your friends, that's the flavor of life.
Shop now and save at Orsini's today.
Mayhem is everywhere.
I'm your new bangs, and you can't stop staring at me. That's it. Just tilt the rearview mirror over here. And while you're checking me out more times than a library book, your car is wandering into that lane over there. More bangs. Neat. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate.
Call Martinsburg Allstate agent Gary Kelly today at 304-263-4596.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. Over the last decade, the way we buy things have evolved. Now, you get on your phone, click Want It, and it shows up at your front door. At Hagerstown Ford, it is that convenient. We've changed the car buying experience on the I-81 corridor forever. And with a return policy better than Walmart, there's absolutely no reason to buy a new or used car, truck, or SUV anywhere else. Just like Amazon, Hagerstown Ford will deliver the vehicle to you, where you are, and on your time. And if you don't want it, return it. No questions asked. Why waste your time at a car dealership playing the dumb back-and-forth games? Besides, we hate it more than you do. I assure you, no dealership from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C. will beat our price. No dealership from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland will beat our price. And no other dealership will allow you to return it if you don't want it. Hagerstown Ford absolutely provides the best experience at the best price. Visit HagerstownFord.com to schedule your VIP experience. Click on the vehicle you want and get your new ride delivered to you at no risk.
See dealer for details.
Welcome into the halftime scoreboard show on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube at the half between Shepherd and Lockhaven as the Rams lead the Bald Eagles 17-3. Let's take a look at some scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Now, as I said there at the top, as you can see on the screen, 17-3's our score. Final score between Gannon and Edinboro. It's Gannon picking up the 23-12 win over the Fighting Scots to improve to 3-3. The Fighting Scots fall to 2-4. 11 minutes 56 seconds to go in quarter number 3 between Westchester and Shippensburg. It's Westchester up a touchdown now, 21-14. Also here, going on in the second quarter, right at halftime, it is 21-14 between the two. Slippery Rock in the lead over Mercyhurst. Let's now look here. California against IUP. That tied at 13-all in the second quarter. Also in the second quarter, tied 7-7 between Seton Hill and Clarion. 10-0, Kutztown leading Bloomsburg right now in the second quarter, and then at 6 o'clock it will be Millersville taking on East Stroudsburg. That is your scores from around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Let's now switch it over here and take a look at some top 25 games going on in NCAA Division I football. It is number 12 Oklahoma in the third quarter, leading number 3 Texas 27-20. 2 minutes, 12 seconds to go in quarter number 3 as well. It's now number 4, Ohio State, leading Maryland 20-17. And at the end of the third quarter, it is number 21, Missouri, leading number 23, LSU, 32-27. So that's some scores in NCAA Division I. I'll get other scores later on when they kick off during our post-game show. But that's going to wrap things up here at the halftime scoreboard show break. It is Shepherd 17, Lock Haven 3. We'll step aside and take another 2-minute break. This is Shepherd University Rams football on TV 10, WRNR TV on YouTube. On the other side of the break, we'll have quarter number 3.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
We are the Skinner Brothers. Most folks only need a lawyer once or twice in their lives, and when they're injured or in an accident, most people don't know what to do. We get it. It can be overwhelming.
Nobody likes to be told you need a lawyer, but that's why we're here. We want to get you back to your normal life and help you recover.
So if you or loved one has been in an accident, give us a call. Let us figure out how we can get you compensation.
Reach us at SkinnerWins.com or Google Skinner Lawyers. We'll treat you like family.
After a car accident, what do you get when you call Mansion Ferretti?
You get more experience from a local law firm with over 115 years of combined service.
More respect from a team who treats clients like their own family.
And more fight, because we want you to get every dollar you deserve.
Experience, respect, results. If you've been injured, that's what you want in your lawyer.
And that's what you'll get when you call us. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
At Dutch Miller Automotive, we've grown quite a bit over the last 60 years, but our core principles remain the same. We believe in treating our customers and our team members like friends and family, and we see it as our obligation to give back to all the communities we are so fortunate to do business in. In just West Virginia alone, we've grown from one location on the west end of Huntington to 10 rooftops employing more than 500 Mountaineers. Check out the inventory from all of our stores at DutchMillerAuto.com. Dutch Miller Automotive Group, West Virginia proud.
We welcome you back to Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Our score here at the half, Shepherd 17, Lock Haven 3. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith. Happy to have you with us. Dylan Bishop doing a great job on camera for us, and back in the studio you just heard from him with your halftime scoreboard update. Colin McLaughlin, our producer, certainly always does a great job back in the studio. But Travis here at the half. Shepherd gets the ball to start the second half. It could be a real momentum shift if they want to kind of put things away. I mean, it wouldn't be over it by any stretch, but if you go up 24-3, it can really, take the momentum away from any Lock Haven type things. So it does feel like a very important drive to start the second half for the Rams here.
Absolutely, and like you mentioned, you create a 3-possession game. It really doesn't seem like Lock Haven is playing with the type of chemistry where they're going to be able to try to cut into that deficit and have a chance to challenge for the victory at the end of the ball game. So the Rams just have an opportunity to put their foots on the necks of the Lock Haven Bald Eagles and really take command of this game. And that's something that the Rams have excelled at this year. You get into those bar fights, and they're still able to come out on top. It hasn't been pretty. It hasn't been what we've been used to seeing over the years. But, again, each and every year, that team has a responsibility to try to establish their own identity. And that's what this identity seems to be for this Rams ball club this year, is a team that can go in, get into a knockdown, drag them out type of fight, and still come out on top. And they've been doing very well at that so far, and they'll have an opportunity to do that again today, again going up against a much improved Lock Haven football team. But the Rams have continued to make enough plays to have them on top going into the second half.
It rained pretty much the whole way on our drive up here, but the weather has held off here since we arrived at Lock Haven, and they kind of joked with us that we got rid of the rain for the most part. hopefully that continues in the second half. But I believe just from the forecast, it looked like it was going to hold off. The sun has returned to start the second half a little bit. Now the wind's back, so should just not talk about it, I guess. But
seemed like the wind took a halftime break.
It did, and then it returned right as the sun came out, and it was kind of starting to feel nice again, and then the wind came back. So anyway, our second half kickoff is brought to you by Ollie's VIP Northside, the best local spot to catch sports or hang out with friends. Stop by 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. Ollie's VIP will see you for the game. So Shepherd will go back to return. We'll see if the special teams that has been so special for the Rams this season can maybe get them off to an even better start to start the second half. Maybe give them another spark here as see how Lock Haven comes out defensively to start the second half. Overall, I felt like it was a good effort from their defense. Spent probably a lot of time on the field, especially in that second quarter after the Harrison injury. It seemed like Lock Haven's offense kind of stalled out, and Shepherd had a few drives where they weren't doing much, but had some good drives toward the end of that second quarter. So we begin this third quarter now with Lock Haven kicking away. And back deep for Shepherd is Christian McDowell, who had an interception in that first half. One of the two takeaways for the Shepherd defense. Gianni Gamble picking up the other interception. It's a short kick. Shepherd will fair catch. And Dustin Fisher has it inside the 20-yard line. The fair catch, I believe, will move it to the 25, even though he took a knee at the 19. But since he didn't catch it, that might actually not work out that way. I think Shepherd will take over at the 19 since Fisher didn't catch it, even though he called for a fair catch.
It definitely puts a little fear in your heart because you realize you have 11 angry men charging down the field after you, but you can't look at them. You have to look up, make sure you field the ball cleanly. So Fisher did a good job of collecting the rebound and taking the knee, and the Rams offense coming up, setting up fairly good field position. But again, you see Lock Haven just not allowing that Rams special teams unit to go out there and make any big plays.
Morgan play action, dumps it down to Barry Hill. He's had a big game, and he will continue that. Barry Hill with a nice move and goes down at the 30-yard line. Romano making the tackle, but it was really Hill being the aggressor on that one.
And Taylor missed the block initially, yes, but Barry Hill able to make a defender miss, made another play, and then Taylor, not giving up on the play, was able to make another tackle later on in the play to spring Hill for a couple extra yards to pick up that first down.
1st and 10 for the Rams. They will run Malachi Brown running hard across the 35-yard line before he is thrown down at the 37. Thomas coming up to make that tackle for Lock Haven. It'll be a 2nd down and 7 for the Golden Eagles, or for the Rams. Golden Eagles, bald Eagles. Anyway, but
they win
play action.
They win a few more games, they might be the Golden Eagles.
There's a deep ball down the middle of the field for Jeremiah Taylor, and Taylor is down inside the 10-yard line before it's tackled on the play by Vernon. A big catch and run for Jeremiah Taylor, and a good throw down the middle of the field where Seth Morgan, if he has time, can really carve up a defense.
And much more of a vertical threat when he's able to work the middle of the field. The Rams have had success working that post wheel concept. If you want to settle that wheel, then you need to hit the post every once in a while, and they were on that play with the connection to Taylor.
A read option play with Morgan. Morgan spin move inside the 5. Vernon comes up, make the tackle again, down to the 4-yard line. Nice looking play there from Shepherd. They kind of stacked everybody up on that near sideline, and Morgan with a read option, a rare look from the Rams, but it works out.
And it's just a tough play to stop when you're down towards the goal line. You realize the defense is going to be packed down inside, trying to stop a run up the gut. So if you give them that zone read fake up the middle, the quarterback's able to pull it. Now they're coming back out with that wildcat look again, but this time Brown's in the backfield.
Yep. Malachi Brown will take the snap, follow Dustin Fisher, not go anywhere on the play. Lock Haven stops. It will be 3rd and goal now from the 4, no gain. Interesting, they go with the smaller back Brown and run that same wildcat play.
Yeah, I was thinking there's going to be some type of wrinkle off of it. You showed it last in the last half, in the previous half, with the bigger running back, with Barnett in the backfield, you bring in Malachi Brown. I thought it might have been something different, maybe a little jump
to
pass.
the quarterback.
Yeah, is that what you call? Just whip it out there, huh?
Third and goal from the 4.
I don't know if you want your running back trying to make a hard throw to the sideline like that.
You don't know Malachi Brown's arm strength.
I do not. But I'll take some bets, though.
We got a timeout taken here as it is third and goal from the 5-yard line for Shepherd. Rams with a big drive to start the second half. If Lockhaven holds them to a field goal here, that big play from Jeremiah Taylor doesn't feel as significant. But Shepherd would certainly like to get the touchdown, go up by 3 scores.
And it'll be much the way the first half started, where teams were able to march the ball down the field, but once they got particularly inside that 10-yard line, it's a little tougher sledding down there. It's a lot more bodies in a more confined space, so the speed of the play picks up. The windows are a little bit tighter. It's just tougher to punch it in once you get down that close to the goal line.
Third and goal from the 5. They will run play action. Morgan has a lot of room, throws it back across the middle, caught, touchdown Shepherd.
Taylor with the reception, just doing a good job. The veteran wide receiver just settling down into a soft spot in the zone. And Morgan, again, like we mentioned, does a good job of extending plays with his legs, and he does a good job of taking those check down routes. And that time, just good communication between Taylor and Morgan for that Rams touchdown.
James Bozick on to attempt the extra point for the Rams, now leading 23-3 on the Jeremiah Taylor touchdown reception from 5 yards out. The extra point is up and good. Shepherd 24, Lockhaven 3. 12:06 to go in this third quarter. We will take a 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Lockhaven Shepherd able to get into the end zone on the Jeremiah Taylor touchdown reception. That ends a 6-play, 82-yard drive, 5-yard touchdown from Morgan to Taylor. Our scoring drive summaries are brought to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. Bozick will kick it away, 24-3, Rams on top. Baker will field from his own 2. Baker.
He's gone.
Baker across the 40, across midfield, and he is going to take it all the way for a Lockhaven touchdown.
And that's why you don't kick to him.
98 yards. It was excellent blocking. Nobody even touched him on that one or really got close. And Baker takes it all the way for the score, and Lockhaven is back in the ball game now at 24-9.
And that's what you want to do to try to limit those opportunities on special teams, especially when you have a dangerous return man like that. But like you mentioned, the blockers up front did an awesome job. He was practically untouched on that play all the way into the end zone. So just kind of a smack in the face. You have a good drive to open up the second half, and then on the ensuing kickoff, the guy takes it to the house, and here we are right back to a 14-point game again.
Extra point is good, and now it's a 14-point game at 24-10, 11:53 to go in this third quarter. We'll take another 30-second break. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
This is Senator Patricia Rucker. My record shows that I have led the fight for legislation to provide opportunity for West Virginians, strengthen families, protect our children, and improve education. But there is more work yet to do. West Virginia is on the rise, but we're still playing catch-up. That's why I'm asking for your vote, so that I can go back to Charleston and continue the progress we have made.
Paid for by Rucker for West Virginia, Mike Holtz, Treasurer, ruckerforwv.com.
To Lockhaven, our score now 24-10 after the Baker kickoff return touchdown. They are ruling that a 98-yard return for Baker, and it makes it 24-10. Big return there. And I mean, the momentum is now back toward Lock Haven. The crowd that has come support this Lock Haven team back into it. And with 11:53 to go in this third quarter.
I mean, we're in Pennsylvania. You know you got some red-blooded football fans in this area of the country, and you can tell that this Lock Haven crowd, they've been hungry for a winner for a long time. They had some dark days, but you can tell that this year is something special about this group where they're really trying to turn things around and get some positive momentum going, and able to go out and get players like Baker certainly is going to help you to that end.
You're looking kick here. I think it's going to go out of bounds, and it will, which will set up Shepherd with great field position. They were trying to, again, keep it away from the Rams kickoff return unit. A mistake from the Shepherd kickoff unit to kick it to Baker, as we talked about before, an explosive return man, and he was able to, just great blocking on the Lock Haven end as well. So Shepherd will get good field position here out to the 35-yard line, and it seems like the Rams' offense has been clicking, though, on these last few drives, Travis.
And Lock Haven, on their kickoffs, they're choosing to use that little blooper-type kick. They want to try to put the ball on the 30. That's tough because you're trying to put the ball to a person that's usually not used to fielding the ball, so you're hoping for a mishandled ball and possibly a big play.
Malachi Brown with another good run, carving up that Lock Haven defense into the secondary, and a first down run for Brown. Shepherd starting to really establish a good balance here in this second half. 11:35 to go in this third quarter. 24-10, Rams on top. First touchdown of the day coming on the Lock Haven side the first touchdown for Lock Haven coming on special teams. Seth Morgan now in the shotgun looking to throw. Morgan with the pump fake, escaping pressure and throws it away into the Rams bench. If he threw it a little bit farther, could have maybe got it onto the softball field down there, but instead.
Isaiah Gonzalez giving chase on that play. When you have those double moves, and the Rams have had success with those double moves, but those are plays that take a little bit of time, and that time Gonzalez was in hot pursuit of Morgan, making him get rid of the ball. Again, that was a good decision. You don't want to force it in there, throw it away, live to fight another day.
Morgan to throw again, under some heat, avoids the sack, under pressure again, and brought down in the backfield.
Isaiah Gonzalez right there again. And again, when you try to use those deep pass plays, they take time. They take time. So the Morgan sitting there waiting for the play to develop, and the longer that you take, it gives those defenders up front a better chance to get home. And Gonzalez nearly got him on the last play. This time was able to bring him down.
And Lock Haven had that initial pressure, too, from Jair Thomas, so give credit to him for throwing some things off. Here's pretty much a screen pass in the flat to Malachi Brown, and Brown gets close and
good play. He
has the first down on that second effort. Great play from the Rams after the sack to recover on a 3rd and long, get the ball in space to Malachi Brown, get some blockers out in front. I believe Brandon Carr was out there, the right tackle, throwing a block, but they're going to say he's a yard short. I thought where he ended up on the ground was at the first down sticks, but
yeah, that looked like a bad spot to me because it looked like he didn't hit the ground and when he extended the ball.
But it will be 4th down and short here for Shepherd. Cam Dorner, the receiver to the far side. That is Batten and Taylor, the receivers to the near side. Here's a dump down in the flat to Malachi, and he has the first down this time before he is driven out of bounds on the play by Cody Romano.
And again, you see an interesting chess match between the Rams offense and the Lock Haven defense. On the previous couple plays, they were able to bring some extra pressure and get after the quarterback and disrupt things. So how do the Rams counter that? All right, you want to bring the heat with the linebackers? We're going to get that running back out of the backfield and get into that void right behind those blitzing linebackers. And Malachi Brown has been able to make them pay on the past 2 plays.
9:38 to go in this third quarter. They'll run it with Barnett. Barnett showing some dance moves on that run. He's brought down by Thomas. Down inside the 35 to the 34-yard line goes Thomas.
And on that play, you can see Barnett a little frustrated with himself. He realized he's more of a guy that's north and south, a pounder in between the tackles. So once he starts going east and west, realizing that's not the strength of his game. He's much more of a downhill type of runner like he does on this play.
Get him going downhill and down to about the 30-yard line. And
pushing the pile, and Romano getting into it a little bit.
Lucas losing his helmet, so he will have to come out. Curtis Jefferson will run on for him. And it will be a third down and about 3 for Shepherd from the 30-yard line, needing to get to the 27 of Lock Haven. Dustin Fisher's in the backfield to the left of Seth Morgan. Barnett is the back, and a 2-receiver set for the Rams. Showing run, and they do run. Barnett follows his blocking. Another helmet comes off, this time on the Lock Haven side. Barnett is going to be marked about a yard short of the first down. It'll be fourth. Actually, they're only going to say he got about a yard on the play, so 4th and 2.
That was good defense that time by Lock Haven. Barnett showing good patience, sticking with his blocks, just trying to find whatever's there. But that Lock Haven front seven, very stingy on that third down attempt.
So 4th down. Brown is now the back. And Shepherd will feed Malachi Brown. It's going to be close. I don't think he got there yet. Coming up and making the play for Lock Haven, Izzy Ramos. And it's a turnover on downs, and now Lock Haven has the momentum. Interesting decision there from Shepherd. They, of course, take out their bigger back. They put their smaller back in Brown, who does run hard in between the tackles, so it's not like he can't get that first down. But I thought maybe they would try to get him in space again to get an easy completion.
And it's something where, Lock Haven needed to make a stand. As I don't know why you give them that chance to really get re-energized like that by going for it on a 4th down. So right now,
would have been about
at quarterback, and is that Zajac back in?
Yeah, Zajac, I believe, is still in the game. It would have been a pretty long field goal there for James Bose. I haven't seen him attempt too many long ones so far this season. They were at about the 28-yard line, so it would have been about a 40-something yard field goal, 45-yarder, I believe.
I mean, it looked like you did have the wind at your back, and Bozak has proven to have a strong leg so far.
Yeah, he was the kickoff man last year when he wasn't the starting kicker, so they certainly like his leg as a player down for Shepherd. I believe that's JT Comayao. It is standing at the 27-yard line. So, meanwhile, Lock Haven has responded. They've made it a ball game. They get a turnover on downs. Momentum definitely shifting toward the Ball Eagles. They do have their quarterback injured, though, so it's a tough situation.
Sanchez on the sideline has that left ankle in a brace. He's in street clothes, so he's not going to be returning. And looking at Zajac, the grad student transfer coming over from Central Connecticut State. Played 4 ball games for him last year.
Not to be confused with Southern Connecticut State.
Seems like a small state to have all these schools with the directions in there.
But here's a pass underneath.
Oh, good
Hicks.
blocks.
Great blocking, and Hicks gets upfield and has the first down. Miles Greer knocks him out of bounds around the 48-yard line. Big play for Lock Haven.
That was Young and Lawrence outside supplying some big blocks that time to free it up for their tight end. And again, that tight end, Hicks, very versatile, big body.
Kind of built like a receiver, though, or
yes,
a bigger receiver at 6'3", 218, but a guy that you can spread out, put him in the slot quite a bit, and
much more of a modern tight end that you see in today's game.
Play action, dump down in the flat, complete to Collier. He gets good blocking in front of him again, down inside the 35-yard line. First down, Lock Haven. Anelio Pena and Singleton Naeem Alexander to make the tackle. And Lock Haven moving the ball. Dwayne Grantham barking at the Lock Haven sideline.
And big Matt Frederick getting out in front, the big fella, showing that he can move 6'6", 348 pounds. And Collier just kind of bounced off of him and picked up an extra 4 yards at the end of that run.
6:30 to go. Hodge is the back here. And now they'll look to throw. Zajac. Deep ball down the far sideline, incomplete. Naeem Alexander with the coverage. Bring up 2nd down and 10.
Alexander doing a good job of just riding the wide receiver out of bounds. There's no better friend to a defensive back than the sideline, and that time just showing some defensive back savvy and using it to his advantage. Like we mentioned, Collier stepping out to catch his breath a little bit, and Mr. Hogue is in the game. The transfer coming over from Alabama by way of Carson Newman University in Jefferson City, Tennessee. So he's had a chance to see a good bit of this country.
There's a big tackle in the backfield, a sack for the Rams.
Cowser and Pena.
Cowser and Pena, as Travis mentioned, coming through on that one. A blitz there, and it works well for the Rams. Bring it back now to 3rd down and long for Lock Haven from the 36-yard line. They need to get to the 21, so 3rd and 15 for the Bald Eagles. Zajac looks to the sideline and now sets up in the shotgun. Collier is his back. It's a 4 wide receiver set here on 3rd and 15.
So far, Zajac has only thrown the ball, seems to his right side. Now he's looking left.
Dumps it down to Baker, and Baker is stopped well short of the first down. Harold O'Neal coming up and making the tackle. It'll be 4th down.
That was a conservative call, 3rd and long, and you throw a tunnel screen underneath the Baker. You certainly understand why. Baker dangerous with the ball in his hands. You hope you get the ball to him. Maybe he can create something. I guess they were looking at it as this is 2-down territory. You get the ball to Baker. Maybe he can make something happen, and you have a 4th and a bit shorter, and then you go for it there. But now still 4th and long. And this Rams defense is playing deep.
Yard on the play. So really didn't work out at all how Lock Haven intended. Now it's a 4th and 16, 4:50 to go in this one, in the 3rd quarter of this one. Zajac steps up. He's going to be forced to run, makes a man miss, gets inside the 30, but is brought down well short of the first down. It's a turnover on downs forced by the Rams defense, and Shepherd will take over on the turnover on downs. Making the tackle from the Rams was Kyrie Wimberly. So the Rams will take over after the turnover on downs. Will be 1st and 10 for Shepherd from its own 27-yard line.
Certainly you don't want to see Zajac out there taking hits like that, especially with Sanchez on the sideline already injured. Not sure how much depth you have at your quarterback, but you're going to be losing a lot of your playbook the further you go down that depth chart with your quarterbacks.
Malachi Brown fighting forward for positive yardage up to about the 30-yard line. Gain of 4 on the play.
Like Davian Vernon in on that play. The 6', 218-pound sophomore.
4 minutes to go in the 3rd. 24-10, Shepherd on top. Morgan looks to throw. Morgan under some heat again and thrown down for a sack. Coming up and making that play for Isaiah Gonzalez again? Or
Justin Anderson.
Oh, Justin Anderson.
Coming filling in for Gonzalez. 5'10", 228 pounds, did a very good spin move that time on Shepherd Rams left tackle, right tackle on that play, Brandon Carr. Again, he doesn't want to, that's a huge size mismatch in favor of Brown, so you don't want to go toe-to-toe with a large man like that. You use that speed. That was a good inside move that time by Justin Anderson to get some pressure on the quarterback and ultimately bring him down.
Morgan throws underneath, complete to Barry Hill. Hill gets some good blocking from Cam Dorner, turns it upfield. He is going to be tackled, though, short of the sticks. And Shepherd will now be forced to punt with 3 minutes to go in this 3rd quarter. So the turnover on downs doesn't really hurt Lock Haven. They'll get the ball back and should have pretty good field position. Going back to return it is the dangerous Chandler Baker. grad student who already has a kickoff return of 98 yards for a score in this one.
But the odd thing is like when he's been back there to get the punts, it doesn't seem like Lock Haven has had a punt return on it. They've played it very conservative. They're really not blitzing anybody, and nobody's looking to get back in the wall. Yeah, like I don't get that thought. You got a home run hitter back there. Like set up some type of wall for him. You see how the Rams, they got Greer back there. They put on you can see that there is a concerted effort to get blockers out there to create some space for an athlete like that. So I'm not sure you have a player like Baker back there showing you how dangerous he is, and they don't put on any type of return for him.
Yeah, definitely interesting there.
Now on that one they did send a little bit more heat after the punter, but still I don't understand that one.
Well, they'll have it at their own 28-yard line. Zajac remains the quarterback for Lock Haven with 2:34 to go in this third quarter. And they will run Collier. Gets a good block from his right guard and then gets across the 36-yard line.
That was a bit of an odd play. It was almost like a delay, but they ran it outside. So you have the guards pulling to get outside, and the Ram, they caught the Ram secondary playing man coverage. So the wide receiver did a good job of running off the defender, and it created a lot of space over there on the sideline, and Collier was able to take advantage of it.
It's a very patient running style for this Lock Haven team. Second down and short. There's, again, that same kind of long handoff, and Collier now gets close to the sticks, up to the 40-yard line. And tackled by Gamble.
If I'm on the Rams coaching staff, I'm in the referee's ear right now because those offensive linemen are sitting pretty deep in the backfield. So I'm curious as to see, do they have enough people on the line of scrimmage? Because you see those big offensive linemen, they're trying to set back a little bit deeper. So when they're pulling, it's going to make their path a little bit easier. But they still have to be close enough up where they're considered to be on the line of scrimmage. That would be something I'm talking to the referees about.
Yeah, especially right now, the right guard very far in the backfield. They run.
That is weird. Effective, but weird.
Yeah. They didn't pull that time, but he did line up kind of far back.
Yeah, they're setting up kind of deep. Usually the rule is that the offensive lineman, their head, has to at least break where the center's hip is. And with them in that two-point stance, setting that far back, it doesn't look like that they're in compliance with that rule.
Under a minute to go, 24-10. Shepherd Lock Haven now moving the ball out toward midfield.
That is a unique play. That's like some type of delay stretch play for Lock Haven, but they've been able to catch the Rams defense off guard with it.
1st and 10. Zajac throws it, intercepted by the Rams. Shepherd takes it inside the 40-yard line, down inside the 30.
Looks like Grantham.
Dwayne, or was that Pena? I think it was Emilio Pena jumping the route.
But he was sitting on it the whole way.
You are correct. That was Dwayne Grantham coming up with the interception. So
Grantham was sitting on that all the way. And Grantham, he's been working his way back into the form he played with last year. Last year, he was red hot as far as being very tough in coverage. Had several interceptions last year. That's his first one of the year so far for this Rams defense. But he was sitting on that all day long. You could tell he read his scouting report. He knew that play was coming from a mile away.
And that sets up Shepherd perfectly now. 1st down and 10. In Lock Haven territory, they'll run Malachi Brown. Brown gets inside the 25-yard line before he takes a shot. Romano again coming up making that tackle for Lock Haven. Final 10 seconds to go in this third quarter. I believe Shepherd will most likely let that be the final play of the third quarter. Our third quarter was brought to you by on TV 10 Smallwood and Small Insurance. In Martinsburg, your total insurance solution at 121 Administrative Drive. Call 304-263-3361. As well as W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break. On the other side of that break, we'll have the fourth quarter. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Our score, Shepherd 24, Lock Haven 10. Rams with the football when we come back. We welcome you back to Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Shepherd 24, Lock Haven 10. Rams driving after the Dwayne Grantham interception. They will go play action. Morgan tackled and brought down in the backfield again on the sack. With his second sack of the day, coming up is Isaiah Gonzalez for Lock Haven, and that will back the Rams up now to a 3rd and long and may have taken them out of field goal range. So that's even bigger of a sack there from Gonzalez. Again, Shepherd with a long developing pass play, and it didn't develop very well.
And Gonzalez has been very effective as far as getting to the quarterback. And actually, I think the sack kind of saved Morgan from a bad decision.
Oh, but there's another sack in the backfield for Lock Haven coming through. For Lock Haven was number 52, Trey Henley.
The 6'3", 213-pound redshirt freshman from Pahokee, Florida. That time, just hand strength was able to pull down Seth Morgan, where he bit on the pump fake, but he was strong enough to grab him by his shirt collar and pull him down.
So Barrick will now be forced to punt. The interception doesn't lead to any points for the Rams. And this punt kind of takes a Lock Haven bounce and then rolls back in favor of Shepherd. It's down inside the 10-yard line, so it will be at least a long drive coming up for Lock Haven at 24-10, 13:39 to go. A lot of time left in the game, Travis, but if you're the Bald Eagles, you'd like to cut into this lead now and not give Shepherd a lot of time to kill some clock.
Your defense made a big stand for you. They get you the ball back. You're backed up a little bit, but you don't have to abandon your game plan. You still have plenty of time. You really don't even have to go. You go out there with a bit of a sense of urgency, but you can still stick to your primary game plan. Run the football. There's no reason to force it.
They will run it with Collier, and Kevin Kauser is there to stack it up for Shepherd.
And that was a bad snap and kind of delayed the handoff. When you have those quick mesh plays in the backfield, sometimes a bad snap can just throw off the timing of a play. And that was the case that time, that Rams speedy defense able to quickly converge on the running back.
About a 1-yard pickup on the play. It is also notable, Travis, Lock Haven, has already turned the ball over 3 times. So got to be careful with the football here when you're backed up. Here's a screen underneath to the tight end, and doesn't go anywhere. No gain on the play. Hicks making the catch.
It was O'Neal on the tackle.
Yeah, Terry might have got in on that as well, but it's going to be 3rd down and long now for Lock Haven, backed up at their own 11-yard line, 3rd and 9 for, actually about 3rd and 8 here for the Bald Eagles. 12:30 to go in this 4th quarter. Shepherd 24, Lock Haven 10. Zajac throws and nearly picked off again. Wanted to go to his
that was Baker
big
working
receiver,
underneath.
Chandler Baker.
There was a hole. There was an opportunity there. It was just the timing was thrown off a little bit and wasn't able to connect. And that's certainly what you're lacking. Like we mentioned, that's going to be one of the drawbacks when you have this many grad students coming in, this many new faces coming in, is that sometimes you're going to be lacking that chemistry. You're going to be lacking that timing. And then you bring in a backup. Yeah. That's only going to exacerbate the problem. And that's pretty much what it was on that play, was just a lack of timing and chemistry for open Baker.
Shepherd brings a little bit of pressure, but Lock Haven picks it up well. Miles Greer now to return it, and Greer has some room. Greer across the 35, across the 30, still on his feet, one-on-one with the punter, and then he was tripped up and brought down at the 11-yard line by a lineman. But Miles Greer,
you had to throw that dig in, didn't you? You got tackled by a lineman, man.
It wasn't meant that way.
It was Taylor Hartner, the offensive lineman.
It was more like shout out to the lineman for making a good tackle. As a former lineman, I respect it.
All right. I see where you're going with this.
No shots at Miles Greer. He's a great return man. Set up Shepherd now with a great opportunity to extend its lead. Rams down to the 12-yard line. Malachi Brown, the back from the pistol. And they will run Malachi. Stutter steps in the hole, doesn't find much room, takes a shot at the 10. There's Vernon again. He's had a good game.
It wasn't much to gain on that play, but I like what I saw out of Malachi Brown on that play. A lot of times you have young running backs, and their first instinct is try to bounce it outside, make something happen. A lot of time that ends up in a loss, or more likely a holding penalty. That time, a patient runner looked for the cutback, wasn't much there, but he didn't make a mistake, and he didn't make the situation worse.
Morgan looking for one-on-one with Jeremiah Taylor, but the pass is broken up.
Good defense.
An incomplete. Victor Hunt in coverage. You like the matchup there, one-on-one for Taylor, but Hunt with some great coverage on that one.
Victor Hunt, the 6'1", 186-pound sophomore, very similar stature to Dante Harrison. And that's why you want those bigger body corners down in this part of the field when teams try to go to the fades with their bigger wide receivers. You like having that nice physical matchup, and that time Victor Hunt was able to get the best of it. An eligible man downfield on the Rams.
Well, that takes away anything that could have happened on that play, as now Shepherd will be backed up.
And that was strange. Usually you'll see that like on maybe some type of RPO or play action where you'll get an ineligible man downfield, but on a straight-up pass play, you don't see that too often.
They do take the penalty, so it will be second down instead of a third and long with 11:30 to go. It'll be second down from the 15. Morgan steps up, slings one over the middle, caught by Cam Dorner. Dorner trying to get some movement, and he lost the football. And Lockhaven falls on top of it. And I believe Vernon knocked it out.
He got rolled up. It was an awkward tackle. You can see he was grabbing his foot. He's on the bottom of that pile. His teammates are trying to help him out. He was injured on that play.
And Dorner's slow to get up now, which is not a good sign, as he has had a breakout sophomore season, but he is slow to get up. It was kind of, like you said, an awkward tackle. I think maybe Cam could have gone down a little bit quicker in that situation, and I think he is okay. Just seemed to lose his shoe on that one. He is limping a little bit, but he is being helped off by his teammate Jeremiah Taylor, and hopefully Dorner is good, because
it's a big part of the
offense, and has just had some monster games for this team. And in two of the three phases, he's had some big kickoff return. And
it's a good sign he was able to get off on the sidelines under his own power. You're starting to see him hobble a little bit more now, but just an awkward tackle, and he put the ball on the ground.
Second fumble of the year for Dorner. The other one was recovered by Shepherd in that Edinburgh game, and the Rams have just been unable to put away this Lockhaven team, even with the big punt return from Miles Greer. Here's a pass complete underneath. It's the tight end Hicks. Pushed out of bounds by Emilio Pena. 11:13 to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd still hanging on to their 2-touchdown lead. Actually, I believe that was Miles Greer in on that tackle, but it's second down nonetheless for the Bald Eagles.
Coming away from this game, I'm impressed with Hicks. He has proven to be a versatile tight end, a good offensive weapon for this Bald Eagles offense.
Pass underneath, complete, but tackled in space. That time, Emilio Pena there to make the tackle. In on that completion was Anderson, I believe. Lawrence, excuse me.
And there certainly seems to be a tendency with Zajac. He tends to really eye his wide receivers down, particularly on the right side of the field. Hasn't really spread the ball around, much more comfortable going to the right side of the field as opposed to the middle or the left.
So it's a third and about 6 for Lockhaven. Zajac under pressure, slings one incomplete.
Like he didn't even look to the left side of the field.
Naeem Alexander in coverage. Lawrence, the intended receiver. It's fourth down. So again, Shepherd failing to take advantage of the Lockhaven mistakes, and Lockhaven kind of failing to do much with the Shepherd mistakes, resulting in another punt. We'll see if Miles Greer can set him up again, or maybe even break one. We'll see what happens here. Shepherd will probably bring some pressure with it being backed up and trying to force something with your block unit. Lock Haven, I believe, is missing a guy and signaling for someone to run onto the field, and here they come.
And Greer will look to avoid the ever-dangerous Tyler Hartner out there lurking.
Rugby-style punt. They'll just kick it away from Miles Greer and out of bounds. Ball rolling on to the track. Here at Lock Haven University, 10:01 to go in this fourth quarter. Shepherd by 2 touchdowns at 24-10. They're going to have good field position again, Travis. You got to try to take advantage if you're the Rams.
Well, it's something like, of course you like to get points just to go ahead and put this game away, but really all the Rams need to do at this point is just eat up some clock. You've done enough to win this game. You just don't want to make any type of mistake that's going to give a spark for that Lock Haven sideline. So just a good, sustained drive, but most importantly, let's get that clock running.
Yeah, there's a lot of time still left in this one at 10:01. Looks like Cam Dorner on the sideline. It's Hill, Batten, and Taylor, the receivers, and they will get Cordell Batten the ball on a little toss, and Batten makes a nice play out of it, has a first down.
Good block out there by Hill. Yeah, these wide receivers, they're earning their keep today, getting some good blocks on the edge. And a lot of times when you get those long run plays, it's because those wide receivers are hustling downfield and getting good blocks in space. It's a difficult thing to do. It's difficult to do and not get a holding penalty just because you're out there, you're exposed, and you're right in front of the referee. So good job that time by Hill, just creating some space for his teammate.
Down to the 14-yard line. Taylor, the man in motion. Now Fisher goes in motion. They will run Malachi Brown, and Brown tried to get back toward a lane. Yeah.
But you're noticing that he's starting to notice those type of openings where he's making the patient plays. He's waiting for that play to develop, and those were plays that he wasn't making early on in the season. But you're starting to see him get more and more comfortable running the ball. The game's starting to slow down a little bit more, and you're starting to get a good pace of understanding where those holes and where those lanes are going to start to open up.
Looks like the pancake block kind of
big
hit on that one from Lock Haven. It's Thomas coming through unblocked to blow up that play in the backfield. We may have a new collision of the game.
Early on, it was Barnett with the truck stick, but you get a clean hit like that on the quarterback, that's going to put you to the top of the list.
Tell you what, though, Seth Morgan has stood in there throughout the season, and he's taken some big shots. So
he went to VMI. You know, he's made a tough stuff.
8:05 to go in this fourth quarter. Barry Hill in motion from right to left. Morgan dumps it down to Hill, who makes a man miss, but then is brought down out of bounds. Good job there by Victor Hunt to not throw him down once he forced him out, because that could have been a big penalty. Instead, he just forces him out of bounds and keeps him up.
And penalties have been costly again today for this Lock Haven ball club. They've made plenty of plays, but a lot of their momentum and drives have been derailed because of untimely penalties. And that was something that we talked about coming into today's game last week versus Millersville. 12 penalties for 108 yards. It's just you can't make that type of mistakes and expect to beat a ball club the caliber of the Shepherd Rams.
The field goal from Bozick from 36 yards is up and good. And Shepherd extends its lead to 27-10. Our fourth quarter is presented to you on TV 10 by Smallwood and Small Insurance in Martinsburg. Your total insurance solution, a 121-minute administrative drive. Call 304-263-3361, as well as the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, home of friends and family pricing. So Shepherd takes over after the punt and gets the 36-yard field goal. Our scoring drives are presented to you by Paul Espinoza for State Senate, an effective fiscally conservative voice for the 16th District. 7:10 to go in the fourth. Shepherd by 17 at 27-10. So good stop by the Lock Haven defense, Travis. This game is far from over especially with what we know this Lock Haven special teams unit can do. So Shepherd will most likely try to keep it away from Baker on this kick return.
And I can see them doing something similar to what Lock Haven has done to the Rams kickoff return unit, and that's some type of sky ball, some type of blooper, usually to about the 30-yard line. You want to put the ball in the hands of somebody that's not used to fielding kicks and maybe just force just a fair catch, but eliminate that chance for a big play. And offsides on that Rams unit. Again, they're looking to get down there quick, and Bozick just doing a squib kick.
Actually, not Bozick in on that kick. That was Hutchinson, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Garrett Hutchinson, yes. The backup kicker / punter. So they go to a different guy for the kickoff here for that type of kick.
Maybe he's just a little bit more comfortable with the off-speed pitches as opposed to Bozick going out there just. Okay.
Weird. Two guys threw a flag, but neither of them had an actual penalty. Well, again, Hutchinson will kick it away from the 35. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you have different guys that had different specialties. I can remember in high school we had a guy that was our onside kick guy. The problem with that, if you bring him on, you know
they're going for an onside kick.
Ball across the 30-yard line.
And that one you give up a little bit of field position, but what you do is that you limit the chance for a big return by not kicking it to Baker, which I can't blame you for that. You'll
take the 32, especially with how your defense is playing.
Absolutely.
The defense is only giving up 3 points.
Yeah.
So
make them drive the length of the field, and it's going to be to your advantage.
Quarterback in for Lock Haven, so it's definitely a tough situation for the Bald Eagles. And like I said, I feel like the Shepherd defense has just been really strong today. You have a lot of confidence with them, even at the 32, as they will run the football here at Collier. And he established some contact there, driving Dwayne Grantham out of bounds. It's a first down pickup on the run. Not too many guys initiate the contact with number 3, Dwayne Grantham.
Collier is certainly not shying away from that contact, and those big offensive linemen getting out in front. Almost a counter tray type action where you have that backside guard and tackle both pulling. And again, it's a unique play. You don't see that too much. It's like some type of delay stretch play with the backside guys pulling around. So having success with it.
Good throw that time from Zajac under some pressure and finds his wide receiver Young.
Yep, steps up to avoid the pressure. Throws the ball to the left side of the field. He hasn't done that too much since he's checked into the game. The wide receiver doing a good job of adjusting his route and working back to the ball to help out the quarterback.
Under 6 minutes to play. Lock Haven back on the ball. First down and 10 into Shepherd territory. They run Collier off that near side, and Kevin Kauser with a great play. Gain of about 1 on the play. He's second down.
And again, I just think Lock Haven just missed their opportunity early in the game when they started to throw the ball as much as they did and got away from the run. If you were able to run the ball back then, one, you'd be able to protect your quarterback a little bit better, and these runs will be giving you a lot more yards here later on in the game because you've been able to wear the defense down.
Pressure, and Jack Baxter as well as Grantham coming up to make that sack for Shepherd. Kyle Zajac brought down. Baxter leading the charge for the Rams.
Lock Haven's been able to make plays, but the Rams defense has been able to make more adjustments to punch back at that Lock Haven offense. You just see this Rams defense is just really just starting to settle in and understand what their strengths are.
Need to get to the 29 for a first down. Coming out, tips it, and it's intercepted by Naeem Alexander. The Rams defense has now forced 4 turnovers today, and Shepherd with a potentially game-sealing interception with 4:38 to go. The tip drill from J.T. Comeau, and it ends up in the hands of Naeem Alexander, and he takes it to the 40-yard line for the Rams.
And you just see the football IQ on display in that secondary. There were a couple of Rams defenders that could have made a play on the ball, but they all saw Alexander had the best chance to make a play on the ball, so they allowed him to make the catch so they could get downfield and block for him. You don't see that too often on a quick play like that. There were certainly guys just being comfortable in the moment, allowing Alexander to pick up that ball and advance it and get the Rams offense in good field position.
So they will run Barnett. Barnett tripped up after a short gain. Victor Hunt, a name we've called quite a bit. Hunt, Henry, Vernon, those guys have all done a good job. Henry, though, left early, or he was down with an injury earlier, but he is back in the game now. And this secondary, they're not afraid to tackle.
No, not at all. They have good size. 6 foot, right around 200 pounds. Athletic and run, but like you mentioned, not afraid to come up and lay the wood when they have to.
Seth Morgan looks to the sideline. 2nd down and 9 for the Rams at the 1-yard pickup. They'll throw it to Jeremiah Taylor, get him the ball in space.
And he does a good job of staying in bounds.
So that will bring up a 3rd and long for Shepherd.
And again, those short underneath passes are just extensions of the run game. You're not going to be able to go out there and just line it up and mash it the way you would like to close out a game. So stick to what you're good at. Throw those quick passes underneath. Allow your wide receivers to make plays on the edge. You never know when one of those plays can turn into something much larger. But it just takes the pressure off of your running backs. They're still trying to find their way, but certainly moving in the right direction.
3rd and 6 from the 44. Morgan. Good throw over the middle, caught on the play by, forgetting his name there, but coming up and making that catch there was Ethan Williams, the transfer from Boston College. Who played youth football with Wyatt Pelicano. So kind of a connection there. And Ethan decided to transfer to Shepherd. I would imagine some of that had to do with Wyatt, as you can hear Wyatt every Wednesday. On Wyatt Wednesdays on Talk Radio WRNR, we talk to the big offensive lineman, and he gives us some great insight on this Shepherd team. Malachi Brown spinning out of a tackle. Brown inside the 40, throws a stiff arm, and now goes out of bounds. Coming up and making the tackle was Kaiser Henry for Lockhaven. Ball came out at the end, but he was already out. 2:19 to go in this 4th quarter, and Shepherd starting to milk that clock away, Travis.
Malachi Brown, he tried to stay in bounds. That was tough. You break a tackle, you want to make a play. And Henry, like we mentioned, a savvy veteran defensive back, understanding the situation, was able to push him out of bounds. You could see that Lockhaven coaching staff was trying to lobby to say that was a fumble, but at that point, Brown had clearly stepped out of bounds and the play was dead.
1:55 to go and counting in this 4th quarter.
He stepped out of bounds, so why is the clock still running?
Don't ask questions. They'll run Barnett. Barnett being dragged by the jersey, but still going down to the 26-yard line. Man, a bunch of whistles coming in on that run.
And Dylan Bishop letting them know that on the previous play that the officials say that Brown was in bounds. Then the question would be, why isn't it a fumble?
Maybe his knee was down. I don't know. Tough to tell from up here. We're up pretty high.
We're in the Eagles' nest.
The bald Eagles' nest.
The bald Eagles' nest.
Not just regular Eagles. 1:38 to go. 27-10. Shepherd on top here at Lockhaven. What has been a pretty competitive football game. I think both teams probably walk away from this one wishing they took advantage of some more of the other team's mistakes. Of course, Lockhaven turned the ball over 4 times, and Shepherd didn't. So ultimately, I think that is part of the difference here today. But Shepherd really didn't take too much advantage of those turnovers, had some punt returns where they were set up well. But ultimately, they are going to walk away with another win, which, as Coach McCook said last week, they're never going to be mad about winning. Ethan Williams going in motion. They will run Barnett again, and Barnett running hard here. It has the first down and more, carrying bodies on his back.
He's pushing the pile.
And that pretty much allows Shepherd to take a few knees here and get another win.
I think that was a play for the O-lineman right there. They came out of that pile feeling fired up. That was a look that you don't see too much out of that Shepherd offense. It was 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 1 running back. And what it does, it creates an extra gap up front, and it makes the defense play you straight up because they really can't shade to either side because then they're going to give you a clear advantage. And that time Barnett was able to take advantage of that defensive alignment and find a hole right up the middle and pick up a big first down.
Give credit to Lockhaven. This is the closest game they've played in this short now 4-game series. They will fall to 0-4 against Shepherd, but last year's 72-7, 27-10 this season. So showing those great improvements that they've made with the new coaching staff,
aggressive
transfers.
Yeah, aggressive recruiting.
Another timeout taken by Lockhaven. Again, 27-10 our score, but you got to be impressed with, how they've done in this first year with this group. I mean, already going to fall to 3-3, but certainly have been very competitive. And just this game alone, coming into the season, we thought, okay, Shepherd is going to go up to Lockhaven. That will be another 60-plus point performance from this Rams team, even with everything Shepherd lost. It just seemed like this program was so down that it didn't matter who Shepherd rolled out there. That wasn't the case this year. Lockhaven has done a great job, and I'm excited to see what their program does moving forward, because to go from 72-7 to 27-10 is a great improvement, even with what Shepherd lost.
They were in the game. It was a legitimate football game where they had a chance to win. It was just too many mistakes that buried them, but it wasn't something where they were just completely overmatched on the football field. It was just something where they made mistakes, and they were playing against an opponent that was good enough to make them pay for those mistakes. So certainly a huge step in the right direction for this Lockhaven football team.
Run on that play, no gain on the play. Head coach Dan Mulrooney coming over in his first season. Was named the head coach on January 31st, 2022. This is actually his second season at Lockhaven, but first as the head coach. Second year as the head coach. Excuse me.
So you think back to last year, going 1-10, and as a new coach coming in, and that's kind of late in the recruiting process to come in January. So probably just had that first year, just we need to assess and evaluate what we have, and then that following year you're able to go out and really specifically target what you need. And you can tell with the grad transfers that they brought in, they have brought in the right combination of players, and what you want to do is establish that winning culture, because then that's going to help you go into those high schools and to go into those living rooms and recruit the type of talent that you want to build around.
And he's done something similar before, began a turnaround at Anna Marie College, where they had won just 6 games in 5 years. He went 11-29 there, but was 7-3 during the 2021 season, his final year at Anna Marie. So,
and brought a player with him from Anna Marie, Armstrong Antoine, the safety, the 5'11", 190-pound grad student from Anna Maria College in Paxton, Massachusetts.
So you got to be excited about the Lockhaven program, but for Shepherd, they continue to win. The Rams advance to now 5-1 on the year. Lockhaven will fall to 3-3. Shepherd gets the win 27-10 over the Bald Eagles. We'll take a 2-minute break, and on the other side of that break, we'll jump into the postgame show. This is Shepherd Rams football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
As a lifelong Jefferson County resident, Paul Espinosa has been a champion for the Eastern Panhandle. Paul is the effective, fiscally conservative voice we need in the West Virginia Senate. He's fought for job creation, student-centered education, the rights of the unborn, protecting our family farms, and was a leader in passing income tax relief for all West Virginians. When residents of the 16th Senatorial District cast their votes for their next senator, the choice is clear. Paul Espinosa for West Virginia State Senate. Paid for by Espinosa for Senate, Mary C. Espinosa, Treasurer.
At Carter Myers Automotive, what we do today will tomorrow become what we've done. That's why Owners Just Do More no longer defines us. Our work is never done. Because what we live by doesn't have a finish line. We care. Our company of owners is moving lives forward every day by finding more ways to care before, during, and after your purchase. Because when you're happy, so are we. Carter Myers Automotive. Proud to be the owners who just care more.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC. It's the post-game show as we recap the scoring, bring you stats and analysis, scores from around the PSAC and Super Region 1, the Division 1 Top 25, and the latest on the West Virginia University Mountaineers and Marshall University Thundering Herd. Let's get it started as we go back to the field and rejoin our TV10 broadcast team.
We welcome you back to Lock Haven University. Once again, your final score, Shepherd getting the win over Lock Haven 27-10. As we get into the post-game show, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Nick Verzolini, Travis Smith here on the post-game show. And Travis, just guess we'll go first with your thoughts on the game and what you kind of take away from this one.
Once again, the Rams have able to go out. It wasn't a win in spectacular fashion, but, you know, it's not a beauty contest. It's a football game. It's a football season. You want to go out there, and your goal is to go 1-0 every week, and the Rams were able to go out there and accomplish that mission. They were able to go out there, get a win against an opponent, a determined opponent. And, again, it was good for the Rams to go out there and not take this opponent lightly, which could have easily overlooked this team looking down the road to another opponent, but they didn't. They came in, focused, dialed in, and able to make the most of this opportunity to go out there and get another win in conference to, again, improve their position and, again, improve their standing as far as a possible postseason berth. So you didn't want to come up here on the road in a tough environment. It was rainy early on. It was windy early on. You're going up against an opponent that likes to run the football. So you already know the situation that they had when they went up against Kutztown at home. So you didn't want to come in here and allow this team that they have confidence this year. You didn't want that confidence to grow because there's nothing tougher to beat than a team that believes. So the Rams able to come out, have a quick start, answer that opening field goal by Lock Haven by scoring 17 unanswered points, and really just took the Bald Eagles out of the ball game. So the Rams, again, rising to the challenge, coming away with a win, and again, growing and developing, and that's all you can ask from your ball club week after week is, are you improving? Are you learning from your mistakes? And they were able to check both of those boxes today.
Seth Morgan, 25 of 36 today for 301 yards and 2 touchdowns as we get into your post-game stats, brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers, West Virginia's largest Pandora retailer on Route 11 South Inwood, taking care of you like nobody's business. Shepherd has no turnovers today. That's a big takeaway for this one as well. Morgan was sacked 5 times on the ground for Shepherd today. Malachi Brown, 13 carries for 67 yards. Jordan Barnett, 13 carries for 50 yards and a score. The receivers leading the way, Barry Hill. Very impressive performance for him. 8 catches, 118 yards, and a touchdown. The lawn of 53 today on that 53-yard touchdown after the Harrison injury when Shepherd forced a punt and then got down the field. Hill made that big touchdown to kind of break this one open to make it 17-3 at that point. Jeremiah Taylor, 7 for 104 and a score. Malachi Brown also did a good job catching the ball out of the backfield, 6 catches for 43 yards. Cam Dorner left with an injury. Hopefully he is okay. 2 catches, 17 yards. Cordell Badden, 1 catch for 11 yards. Ethan Williams, 1 catch for 8 yards. On the defensive side of things for Shepherd, Dwayne Grantham led the team in tackles today with 8. Pena was 6. He also had that interception. Shepherd forces 4 turnovers, all on interceptions. They also pick up 3 sacks on the day from Grantham, Comayau, and Cowser. So Grantham had himself a heck of a day. Interceptions from Grantham, McDowell, Gamble, and Naeem Alexander. So those are the defensive stats on the Shepherd side. And now we take a look at the Lock Haven stats today. Sanchez finishes 13-23. He got injured at halftime, 117 yards and a pick. Zajac goes 8 for 15, 3 interceptions, 95 yards passing. On the ground, Collier, 15 carries for 62 yards. And then receiving, Baker, 5 for 61, Hicks, 5 for 50, 2 for 40 for Collier, 7 for 33 for Lawrence, and Young 2 for 28. On the defensive side for Lock Haven, Romano led the way in tackles with his 13 tackles on the day. Thomas had 6, Vernon had 6, Hester had 6 as well. Sacks coming from Gonzalez, he had 2 of them. Thomas, Henley, and a half sack for Anderson and a half sack for Smith. Those were your post-game stats, again brought to you by Bechtel Jewelers. We'll now get into Travis's post-game awards. Travis, start with your electrifying play of the game, brought to you by Orsini's Home Store, not just an appliance store any longer, located at 360 Hack Wilson Way in Martinsburg, or online at Orsinis.com.
Is that electrifying play of the game?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't have to look too far. That one's going to go to Chandler Baker with his 98-yard touchdown return on the kickoff in the third quarter with 11:53 left. A 98-yard kickoff return. He was untouched, just turned on the Jets. Great blocking for him, created a nice lane, and he was able to do the rest. Again, a dangerous kick returner, and he showed it today. 98-yard touchdown return. That's my electrifying play of the game.
What about your collision of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior customer service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page.
Well, it's got to go to Jair Thomas. The big sack in the fourth quarter coming through untouched. Early on, I was leaning towards giving it to the Rams running back Barnett when he hit the truck stick early on Jair Thomas. But Jair Thomas was able to take that stiff arm early on, bounce back, and had a monster sack in that game. So my collision of the game is going to go to Jair Thomas from Lock Haven. And I got to give credit to Seth Morgan for not fumbling on that play. He got blasted on that play.
Yeah, he's definitely shown his toughness throughout the season. What about your good hands catch of the game? None really stand out to me right away, but maybe I'm just forgetting something. Brought to you by Gary Kelly, Allstate Insurance. For all of your insurance needs, call Gary Kelly at 304-263-4596 or stop by 724 Lakeview Drive in Martinsburg.
Well, my catch of the game is going to go to Barry Hill, the touchdown that he had early on in the second quarter. That was kind of the game that really swung the momentum in favor of the Rams, and the Rams never really looked back after that point. So my catch of the game, Mr. Hill, having an excellent game himself, 8 catches, 118 yards, but the one that he scored the touchdown on, to me, that's the catch of the game.
That's a fair point. Player of the game brought to you by Bodwell Insurance Solutions, a local professional to help you with all of your Medicare needs. Go to BodwellInsuranceSolutions.com or call 304-283-0864.
And for my player of the game, we've talked about him several times. We got to give it to Seth Morgan. He had a heck of a ball game out there. Got sacked 5 times, but despite getting sacked 5 times, didn't turn the ball over today. Completed nearly 70% of his passes, 301 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's nearly a perfect quarterback rating for Seth Morgan. So you go out there and have nearly a perfect day after getting the fillings knocked out of your teeth on that sack. Hey, you're a player of the game in my book.
Yeah, anytime you throw for 300 yards, it's tough to not be the player of the game, and no turnovers as well. But, kind of running down that Dwayne Grantham stat line. That's an impressive game as well. Lead the team in tackles, a sack, and an interception as well. And Barry Hill, like you said,
that was one.
Too,
I had a tough decision between those two, but I went with Seth Morgan. Just getting sacked 5 times, not turning the ball over, and putting up those type of numbers, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I'd agree. So that will do it here from Lock Haven. We are back with volleyball on Tuesday, but Shepherd is back next week. They will travel to Millersville. Lock Haven will take on Bloomsburg. Once again, your final score here from Lock Haven, Shepherd 27, Lock Haven 10 for Dylan Bishop, our cameraman. Colin McLaughlin back in the studio, and, of course, Travis Smith. I'm Nick Verzolini saying so long from Lock Haven, Pennsylvania. Have a good rest of your Saturday, everyone.
Ollie's VIP North Side is the best spot to catch all your favorite teams. Join us Monday for dollar wings and Monday Night Football, Thursdays on the patio for the cornhole tourney, Friday night lights with happy hour specials, or Saturdays during or after the college games for steak night. Get a ribeye or New York steak for just $26.95. Ollie's has great food and drink menus too, along with 17 TVs to watch any game of your choice from anywhere at the bar or their outdoor patio and fire pit. So stop by and see for yourself today at 36 Veronica Drive in Martinsburg. That's Ollie's VIP North Side. We'll see you for the game.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
One of the questions lawyers get asked the most is, what is my case worth?
I'm Steven Skinner, and this is my brother Andrew with Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
The truth is, it's very difficult for a lawyer to pinpoint a number because every case is different.
We get to know each situation and we'll give you an idea of what your case is worth and why.
The sooner we get involved, the better we can do getting you the compensation you deserve.
Google Skinner Lawyers or go to skinnerwins.com. We'll treat you like family.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
We welcome you into the post-game scoreboard show on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube as the Shepherd Rams improved to 5-1 with a win by a final score of 27-10 over Lock Haven as Lock Haven falls to 3-3. Let's now take a look at around the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference, get some scores for you as final score, Gannon defeated Edinburgh earlier today, 23-12. Also a final score, it is Westchester defeating Shippensburg 38-28. And an update here, as it says on the screen, 55-24 Slippery Rock. However, Slippery Rock has just scored. They've scored now 26 points in quarter number 3. They lead 61-24 now. Extra point pending to make it 62-24. So Slippery Rock putting the hurt on Mercyhurst right now, showing no mercy. Let's now move on in the third quarter with 4:25 to go. It's California PA leading Indiana PA 27-13. Fourth quarter with 13 minutes to go. It's now 17-10 between Seton Hill and Clarion. 17-3 in the fourth quarter. It's Kutztown leading Bloomsburg, and then kicking off tonight at 6 o'clock, it will be East Stroudsburg and Millersville. Let's now take a look at around the top 25 in NCAA Division I action. Final scores to start for you. It is a big win at the Cotton Bowl for the Red River rivalry, and that is number 12 Oklahoma getting the win over number 3 Texas by a final score of 34-30. Also, final score number 4 Ohio State dominates half number 2 over Maryland to get the win 37-17. Final score, it is number 23 LSU defeating number 21 Missouri 49-39. Other scores in action right now, 8:47 to go in the second quarter. It's number 13 Washington trailing UCLA 6-3. 5:24 to go in the first quarter. It's number 5 Florida State leading Virginia Tech 8-0. 3:31 to go in the first quarter. It's number 11 Alabama and Texas A&M tied up at 3 apiece now. 4:18 to go in the first quarter. It is number 14, North Carolina, leading Syracuse by a field goal, 3-0. 7 p.m. tonight, it is number 20, Kentucky at number 1, Georgia. At 7:30, it's number 2, Michigan at Minnesota. Arkansas at number 16, Ole Miss at 7:30. At 7:30 as well, it's number 10, Notre Dame. At number 25, Louisville. At 8 p.m. tonight, it's Georgia Tech at number 17, Miami. At 8 p.m., it is number 24, Fresno State at Wyoming. Then at 10 p.m., it's number 15, Oregon State at California. At 10:30, it's Arizona at number 9, USC. Again, your final score here, Shepherd 27, Lock Haven 10, as the Rams are victorious again to now improve to 5-1. I'm Colin McLaughlin signing off. This has been Shepherd Rams football on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. You've been watching coverage of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd Rams in the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's coverage is brought to you by the Smallwood and Small Insurance Group, W. Harley Miller Systems, Chris Miller and the Dutch Miller Automotive Group, the Mirius Group of Ameriprise Financial Advisors, Rock's Local Markets, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, Bechtel Jewelers, CMA Honda of Winchester, Brown Funeral Home and Cremation Robert Fields & Sons, Orsini's Home Store, Hagerstown Ford, the Berkeley County Health Department, Modern Realty Results, and the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm. TV10 Sports thanks you for watching today's game. All rights reserved.